closely tied. Like my family knows the family that owned that property and everything.
Well, in the movie, it takes place in Staten Island, but in real life,
they shot it in Elizabeth.
I understand what you're saying.
My family knows the actual
the filming area, not the guy, not the true story guy.
Yeah, I mean it's
true story.
Literally,
true story guy. It's a new superhero. Hey, true story guy.
It's a couple of blocks.
Here's a view for you.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
It's not very far from where my aunt and uncle live, and
you guys could go on a little tour of the shots Nona was shot in.
Yeah,
it's Nona's. It's the sequel to Nona.
All right, I gotta sneeze. I know it's gonna go away. Yeah. All right, what do we got here? You good over there?
Great.
Okay.
Go for you.
3, 2. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 978. The Tatsugiri Podcast.
Did you 978?
MomBrain, you want to tell us about Tatsugiri, please?
Yeah. Pardon me.
Tell us about Richard Geary.
You got it. This is a small dragon Pokemon that lives inside the mouth of Dondozo.
Wow.
To protect itself
he was in Nona's, I think, right?
From enemies on the outside.
Could have been.
I owe a lot of money to Dondozo.
They're a foot tall.
We don't have enough food to feed Dondozo when he shows up.
They're 17 pounds. They're male. They're female.
Got a Stunat over here, a Dondozo over here.
I was driving through
Poor MomBrain
New York State, and I saw a license plate that just had the letter U, Stunads. I was like, oh, hey, I'm home.
We'll let you finish. I apologize. It's my fault.
Tatsugiri.
Category is Mimicry. Abilities include Commander. When the Pokemon enters battle, it goes inside the mouth of an ally, Dondozo, if one is on the field. Only if one is on the field. The Pokemon then issues commands from there. This is blessedly the end of the Pokemon section.
Thanks, MomBrain.
You are welcome.
What happens when a Tatsugiri fights Dondozo on the other side?
You don't want to know.
Maybe next week we'll find out.
The Dondozo just gets Agita.
That's
fights
probably
from the inside,
Thanks, MomBrain. We appreciate it.
Sure thing.
MomBrain is here. How are you doing, MomBrain?
Great.
I don't believe you.
I pulled a molar out of a kid's head yesterday.
You did way too much today, and it gets you all fussy. You woke up and you were like, I got a million things.
I didn't do anything. I did an hour of things today.
You were running back and forth, watering plants and cleaning and casting spells, I'm sure. It's a lot.
Molar?
Yeah.
Or mole?
Molar.
Yeah.
Out of his mouth, or he was bitten and the molar got stuck in his
Did you
head?
find out that it was a recording device, or he's been a spy this whole time?
It was
kid acts up. You got to punish him. That's
cyanide capsule inside the molar.
Don't do it. Don't bite
down.
Yeah, just let me in. Yeah, no. It was a whole thing. It was a loose tooth that the kid couldn't get over.
I've had loose deuces, but not a loose tooth.
Yeah, it was not ready to come out, but it needed to come out.
You didn't do the old floss around it and the door stop?
Put a glove on, jam my hand in there, and popped it out.
Man, that's hardcore.
Yeah, she was biting me while I was doing. Not hard. She was she wanted it out.
It's like a reflex to bite down, kind of.
I think so. Probably.
She was hungry. It was lunchtime.
It actually was lunchtime.
And I'm sure it still wasn't the weirdest thing that's happened to you or that you've done at work.
True. Also, it is not the first time I have had to do that.
So
it was it's just another service I
when
provide.
you were learning,
pulled out raw meat's teeth too in the past
when you were learning to become a teacher, did you think that was going to be
no? And it was while 2 of my students were at the Renaissance Fair for a field trip, so we thought it was going to be an easy day, but in fact it was not.
You know what? That's probably how they did it in Renaissance times, minus the glove.
Minus the glove, exactly. Yeah, you were getting an infection without a doubt, but that's how they did it.
Maybe a little extra meat or something.
They'd be like, they'd be like, go see the dentist. Give the kid a guy down the street. You give him a jug mulled wine, a mug of meat, and then you just pull the tooth out.
And let me tell you, that trooper, she just went back to eating her lunch, put a crouton in her. I was like, you have 3 teeth, and
she replaced the tooth with a crouton.
According to my dad, that's how it was in the army too. Back then, he had a lot of dental issues, so he had to go to the army dentist. And he said the dentist, from what I remember, they were just like, just drink a lot and then go to the dentist. And he went to the dentist, and he said the dentist literally got up on his chest when he was in the chair to yank teeth out. Like literally put his fist or his hand down on his chest and was just pulling teeth.
I think I had that when I had my wisdom teeth out. They were up there.
Were you awake?
Yeah, it was a local anesthesia.
Oh no, I was out like a light, baby.
Yeah.
For many hours after too.
No, I was wide awake after.
No, I disagree. You were somewhere else. You were physically here and you were awake, but you were not here.
So was your dad fighting for the colonies at that time?
Yeah,
I'd have to ask him, but I think you're right.
They gave him wooden replacements.
Yep.
And then told him to eat mashed potatoes afterwards, I think.
They did tell him that.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right about that, because he went to the mess hall right away after.
You're like that's not so bad, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's see the tooth, MomBrain.
I have a picture of it if you'd like.
I was just teasing. I thought it'd be funny if you were carrying it
Here
around
it
like
is.
Marge
around
with
a
Millhouse's
necklace.
tooth.
So did you guys have when you lost teeth as kids at school, did you have treasure chests or whatever that you put the tooth in?
No, I had the tooth.
I had the
tooth fairy. So
tooth thing.
I had this little. I think my mom knitted a tiny pillow with a pocket in it,
Holy crap.
and it was the pocket was shaped like a tooth,
Oh,
and you
man,
put it in
that's
there
nice.
under your
I
pillow.
have literally no idea what my parents. Oh, I'm sorry. What the tooth fairy did with my teeth. I don't know if the tooth fairy still has
They're
them
buried
or
in
not.
the backyard.
I'm gonna ask
Your
my mom if
dad,
she
So
knows.
your
we
dad
get-
had them put into his mouth.
Yeah. In our
All these little
school,
baby teeth in there.
you get a tooth necklace. So it's like a big tooth that you put your tooth inside and you can wear it as a necklace.
Mom, what did
whatever.
you do with me and Kate's baby teeth?
So
Let's see what she says.
we didn't have, the kid was bleeding from the mouth for a while before the tooth came out. It was it was kind of gory. And it was just me with a bunch of kids eating lunch. My TA walks in and she's like, what is going on in here? And I was like, we just got to pull this tooth out. And I'm like, oh, I got it. So I got my hand in the kid's mouth. I'm feeling around. And it's not my favorite. I'm starting to feel a little bit woozy because teeth,
Pulling out someone else's tooth by hand and it's not my favorite.
Once you're I'm great in an emergency. I'm all right, we do this. But then once it's been a little bit and it starts to hit you what you're doing, you're let's get this over with faster. So I'm all right, got it. And Dad, my teaching assistant, just goes, here, put it in here. And she hands me, because the kids are eating lunch, one of those little empty clear plastic cups that the orange sections come in that has a lid. She's like, put it in here. So she holds it out and I plop the tooth and she puts the lid on. She's like, till we get the tooth necklace. I was like, this is something only people who do our job even understand. And we were here we were thinking we were gonna have an easy day. The kids were out at a Renaissance fair and we didn't have to go. Nope, pulling out teeth.
Oh man,
it was great.
Nicky Hill is here. How are you, Nicky?
Good. Got all my teeth. Haven't touched anyone else's mouth this week.
For
you
now,
need me to help you. Quick.
Dew Michaels is here. How are you doing?
Oh, wait, and I just want to finish with
Oh boy.
the child and her family are not English speakers.
Oh, they don't even go to this school.
So I have to trust
They heard of a really good dentist in the neighborhood at the school.
that Google Translate did a sufficient job with wild flipping story that I had to send home. Because you can call, I can't call and be not
Right.
that it was a big to do, but the kids kind of
No,
knew.
happens all the time. Kids getting their teeth yanked by their teacher. It's
I mean,
a
it was
normal
a baby
thing.
They had a
tooth.
if it wasn't.
I always put my English, what I've written in English,
The King's English.
and then I translate it and also put it in
so
Spanish so
then
that
they
it's
can translate it
clear.
The mom came in, MomBrain explained everything, and then MomBrain yanked one of her teeth out.
I was gonna say.
Here, just take
I
one
was
of
gonna
mine.
say-
Please don't yell.
I was
I'm
gonna
a
say,
professional.
the next day at school, they brought in their other kids and asked if she could take care of those.
Yep. We also have Josh Grobot here. Josh, how are you doing, buddy?
Doesn't anyone care what I think?
I'm asking how you feel right
I
now.
wasn't listening.
Josh, you don't need to. You don't have teeth like we have teeth. You have robot teeth, so you need to get those fixed or replaced. Or
That's none of your business.
I apologize. You're right. Bodily autonomy. It's
Did
your
you
own
know
thing.
you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
I did know that, and I actually played not that long ago. So I'm a fan.
Why don't you ask George?
George is here. George, how you doing, my friend? But George,
Some things should remain a mystery.
like what? George?
I won't tell
Why
you how
don't
it
you
feels.
ask George?
George, what should remain a mystery?
Oh, I'm not telling.
George has beautiful teeth.
Wouldn't you like
He
to
does.
know?
He does. Biting down into limes, you think they'd be all kinds of chipped and everything, but you keep good care of him, George.
Are limes hard?
Well, I
The
like
acid, all the acid
Yeah.
in the.
Oh, I guess so. Or maybe the acid is just the right amount
I
to
don't
keep
know.
them clean
They-
and pearly.
They look great. Let me say hello in the
I
chat.
brush my teeth with lime juice.
Oh, Shovel Tall Show. I think it might be time for me to recreate that picture. Hello, Radical Defect and Tall Show and Sneaker Hacks and William, and 10th Division and DD420 and Icedilbert and Nico Darunia and Roth and Malik Halo and Rotzel and SD. They have an appointment that they have to go to and they will listen in. Thank you, SD. Hope your appointment goes well. Drake, I see I'm going to guess that's Doctor Who. I have to watch the newest episode of Doctor Who tonight. And Popple and whoever else I didn't see. Jovial Jeffer. Thanks for Burning Cheese. Thanks for joining, everybody. Yes, it is true. Nico Darunia says there's a new video from Name of Austin. It's available right now. I saw it pop up earlier today. I'll be watching tonight. It is, where is Wind Waker's water from? So he aims to find out the source of Wind Waker's water, which he's done with a whole bunch of other games.
I actually just watched one of those. For some reason, I was avoiding the where did the rivers start ones of his. Not that you should avoid any of them because they're all very funny, even if you don't think you're going to be interested in it. But I started watching. He did one for Tears of the Kingdom, and then he started like comparing it to the places in Breath of the Wild and all that stuff. It was so fascinating and funny.
I am a regular watcher, and his cadence of uploads works well with me because like I'll usually save it to the end of the week because I'm like excited to see it. I'm like, oh, it's a little treat for me at the end of the week. So but I'm up to date now. I've watched all of them, so I needed a new one.
He's also the only YouTuber that I watch where I won't fast forward through the ads. His ads are so funny.
I don't
and
fast
I will
forward
watch
through them
them
either, and I honestly do not think it's because like I know him and just want to support him.
I don't think
it's
so at all.
because I enjoy the way he does ads too. Yeah,
Oh my God, it's so funny.
I'm sad that it seems like his MeUndies era is over.
Yeah, right.
But you know,
that was the best. Those were the best ones.
they'll come back. I'm sure they'd be crazy not to support him again. But yes, go support Austin on YouTube.
I feel like MeUndies are really expensive, so I feel like if
not if you were using the Austin code that he had.
MeUndies have holes in all in them.
If you only said something, you could have used his code.
I'm picky about MeUndies.
You know what? The codes might still be active. So if you go to one of his older video, not old, like a few weeks old, one's got a MeUndies ad. If you check the subscription or the description, I'm sure it had. You know what? Let me just go do it. I support the guy. Let me go find.
We should all go. We should all buy underwear right now on the podcast.
20% off my first order.
What's his MeUndies is his YouTube name?
Go subscribe to MeUndies on YouTube. All right. Let's see.
Austin, I think.
What one would have had? How about Red Dead Redemption Birds? That was probably Here you go. Damn it. No, that's not one.
Oh, I didn't see the Red Dead Birds one. That's right up my alley.
Yeah, that was a very good one. Let's try Red Dead Redemption.
Where they come from?
Rivers. He tracked to see like when they take off, like, you know, there's birds sitting on the ground. You walk near them, they fly away scared. He wanted to track if they actually go somewhere because they fly, but he's like, do they land? Do they like what are they doing? I won't spoil it, but it's very interesting.
At the risk of sounding like Rami Cowboy, $22 for one pair of underpants.
One pair, not even a package of
That's
2
why
or 3.
Well, I got great news for you.
Take advantage.
Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping on orders of $75 or more at MeUndies.com.
That's the offer that they're giving you.
What is it? $4 off then?
I mean, but like for one pair of underpants, like I mean, if you're a member, I don't know what that means. It's $15.40.
They better be the greatest.
We are trying
ever.
to plug any Austin's like how he makes a living, and you just keep throwing them under the bus. Let me get the damn code
Austin,
here.
I need you to get me undies.
Keep it with the undies. You're throwing them under the nuts.
It's
Yeah.
MeUndies.com/AnyAustin.
Or
MeUndies.com
bust, maybe
/
bust.
Any Austin.
Any Austin,
They
all
saw
one
I'm
word.
ordering MeUndies. You want MeUndies? We're
I
doing
don't
it.
want MeUndies. No.
Who wants me?
Who wants me undies?
we're
Be
supp-
careful how you. Who are you asking?
Enter the promo code
Summer's
Any
coming
Austin.
up. Who wants MeUndies? We're supporting Austin. MeUndies for everyone.
Well, you have to use that code.
/ Any Austin.
Yes.
MeUndies.
Any Austin, all one word.
And you get me undies, and you get me undies, and you get me undies, and now I gotta get new undies because I just gave them all away.
Right. Yeah, use it. I'm not sure if the code, like you said, when you go to visit MeUndies.com.
Any Austin fans, new customers get 50% off.
There
You
you go.
guys, I'm putting it in the.
There you go, Austin. Get ready.
We might have to
Tens
do
of
it.
orders are going to go through. Okay. Nick O'Drooney wants me to ask George and Josh if they want MeUndies. George, are you interested in MeUndies?
I need proper support for my limes.
I understand. Well, MeUndies looks like it gets the job done. And here's one thing about Austin. By the way, we're not involved in this sponsorship. Like we're not plugging this because we get a cut. It's because we love Austin.
But we'd love to, MeUndies, if you're listening.
I think MeUndies might make your wiener look really nice.
Thank you.
The
These men have
the
nice
amount
looking
of
wieners.
My
times
wiener?
we've said me undies in the last
Mhm.
minute. Yeah.
I know Austin's
nothing.
like a cartoon character in the sense that he wears like the same thing all the time, and I'm not knocking that. Just saying
Do you
it
guys
as a
want to get
fact.
matching underpants? You
But-
can do that.
Let me
all four
say
of us?
this.
Yes.
But I know Austin is serious about actually liking MeUndies. Like he legitimately does like them. So
Oh my God, you said me undies. I thought you were saying that he legitimately likes you, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cocky.
MeUndies.
MeUndies.
All right.
There you go, Austin. I hope you enjoyed this because this is.
Is this what you guys talked about when he slept over? You guys were up late that night.
No,
talking about
we were
MeUndies?
playing
Your
UFO
undies and
50.
He undies.
He was playing UFO 50, and I was watching him play, and he did that house party game, and it was so much fun to watch. I was just talking to Austin
Because
this
he was only wearing he undies.
MeUndies.
Austin, while you're playing, do you mind if you get in undies while you're sitting here? I think he said something actually related to. Oh, he sent me a text and it said "never forget," and he quoted me something that I said years ago. Except I have a new phone, so it quoted and it just showed like a ghost bubble. I couldn't see anything, and I was like, I can't see what's quoted. And he said it's a gif of some guy rapidly removing and replacing his own pants. You sent it to me a long time ago, and I called you satanic. He said it was 2018, and I knew exactly what one he was talking about. I said, I'm going to guess it's this classic, and it's this guy going crazy removing his
wow.
pants. And he said, that's the exact one. That's amazing. But this is all related to the podcast. You know what? He didn't give me official permission to read it. I guess I shouldn't do that, but it was a good thing about you, Do. I'll double check with him, and then next episode. So stay tuned for next episode, and you'll hear what the conversation was about. But I shouldn't just read
He's
it
not
'cause
watching
that's not
live?
right. No, he's a busy man. He's all over the place doing all kinds of things. Those videos. Here's the GIF I was talking about. I put it in the Discord if you wanted to see. He's those videos have to take so long to make. Like I don't know what his schedule is for like where he's at on turnaround and when he starts a video, but like it's gotta be weeks and weeks of effort that goes
They're
into.
effortless. They feel effortless. Like you watch them and you don't even notice how because it's done so well every time. It flows great. It doesn't feel choppy at all. And like he's got editing tricks and he's got little things that like flash up on the screen. And I mean, I sound like an old man talking about it, but it seems effortless. And every single video I watch is very funny. Like,
Yes,
I haven't seen one where I was like, that wasn't worth it. Like they've all been great. So
he is extremely talented in general, but he's very good at making videos that are incredibly well researched, yet they, like you said, feel effortless. It just feels they just have. He's got such a cadence and a flow to his style that I don't feel like you can get anywhere else on the internet, on YouTube. I'm sure there's someone else out there, but I know about Austin, and I'm going to continue supporting him. I'm going to send him this picture and not explain it.
He captures a beauty about games that you could easily miss
Yeah.
just playing casually. Like he really gets into it
Mhm.
and sits in an area and really like
He
kind
takes
of
it in, yeah.
takes it all in, and you start to like really appreciate it, and it makes me
Yes.
feel how I felt when I was playing like a Nintendo 64 and I was like,
Yeah.
look at this,
Hi,
even though
Freddy
like
Fro.
it's probably laughable now what I was looking at.
No, but you're
like,
right.
It's that kind of
Like, especially games now, so many people work so hard on these games, and somebody's in there like being like a rock modeler that's doing like hours and hours and hours of work making like rocks that people will run by and never really look at, and he's making a point to like really take all of that in. So yeah, it helps you appreciate the effort and time and all that goes into games for things that the vast majority of people will never pay attention to. So I do very much appreciate that.
MeUndies makes boxer briefs that have a pouch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ball pouch. He talks about.
he
it.
talks
Yeah.
about them in
Dick
his
pouch.
ads, but
Do you,
That's my
Nick
favorite
Adrini
part.
says, "Does any Austin always wear the same
It's
pair of
for my
MeUndies?" Well,
arms.
next time we have him on the show, we'll ask him that live. He will be coming back. I don't know when, but
It's the
he's
lime
going to come back.
pocket. That's what I call it.
Nestle into the lime
I
pocket.
mean, there's some limes here on this website.
When I wear MeUndies, I carry 2 extra limes on me at all times.
At all limes.
All right, that's enough MeUndies. Oh, hi, Super Sanchez. Good to see you. Well, I'm going to read this because why the hell not? Super Sanchez says, I finally dived into Fortnite, my first time since launch of the title, and oh boy, has it changed. As a huge Star Wars fan, I thought I'd join the last 2 weeks or so of the season to check out the Star Wars content, and honestly, I regret not doing it sooner. Apparently, Switch and by extension, Android, maybe career replays and stats aren't showing up, which is a bummer because I have some amazing victories. I wish Nintendo didn't break me. I need gyro, and it's essential for me in any shooter. So many victories. I even got my wife to join. She couldn't resist the sweet General Grievous skin. Yeah, I played gyro controls as well, my friend, and it was my go-to way of playing. But eventually, I switched off because I got the Xbox Series X, and I was like, well, let me play down there, and I'll hook up, I'll be hardwired to the internet and all that, and I'm over there. So that's where I've been playing, but I miss gyro controls. But this week, I plan on hopping over to the Switch 2 version of Fortnite, and we have heard many rumors that it will support mouse mode, but at the very least, it will support gyro controls. So I'll be very happy to
You're
get
going to
back
Switch
to that.
2 this week?
It's the week. Perfect segue. This is it. The final episode of the podcast before the Switch 2. This is
Finally.
we're living in the last few days before Switch 2 is a thing you can actually go out and buy. So
GameStop charged my credit card like 3 days ago.
There you go. It's official.
I don't think I got charged yet.
Did you get charged, Mom? Don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
also not a GameStop.
Then they sent me an email that said "sucker." They actually like
Well,
spelled
you know
out
what they
a car
did?
driving
They
away.
charge your card, and then you probably know what they did. You're a man that keeps up with business. Nicky Hill looks at me blankly.
I don't know. What do they do?
You didn't hear any business moves that GameStop made this week?
Oh, they bought Bitcoin.
There you go. I knew you'd know. Yeah, they bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin to, I don't know why, stay afloat.
I guess they hold that because they expect that to go up, so
Yeah.
that they can grow their capital.
That's right. They've been alive.
Make your money work for you.
They've been alive much. Is that Matthew Lesko? Is he here with us?
I don't know who's that.
Yeah,
The
that the
question mark
guy?
suit guy. Yep. What was I going to say? They've been alive a lot longer than many thought they would, and I know a whole bunch of GameStop locations have closed, but they are still out there. I mean, MomBrain, you'll be at one this week.
I will.
I mean, I could go with you. What's wrong with you?
Games start. Am I right?
I'm looking at MeUndies.
Stop looking at MeUndies. Radical Defect says Best Buy hasn't charged me yet, but my pre-order is still alive. Mine hasn't been charged yet, but that's because I'll be going in person. So, but I got the email, and I let you guys know on the site if you ordered from Best Buy. Best Buy sent out a nice reminder email that was like, "Hey, Switch 2's coming. We saw that you got a pre-order. This is your last chance. Make sure you log in and just double check that everything's correct." It was like, check your payment and check your shipping, and just so that everything's good. They didn't want anybody to, look forward to Switch 2 and be like, oh my God, I put in the wrong card and it didn't work, or I put in the wrong address. So it was nice of them to send out that reminder. I'm sure it's automated, but still somebody had to automate that. So that was nice. But yes, I will be going to Best Buy on launch night to get my Switch 2.
Are you doing that just to get it as soon as possible?
Well, I have to, mine is pickup only. I did not do ship to home. So I have to go to Best Buy regardless. But yeah, I'll be
But
going.
you could have chose ship to home, right?
Yeah.
That's all I could have
So
done.
so you
I wasn't able to.
so you
change it.
chose pickup because you wanted to get it as soon as possible.
Well, and I want to go to a midnight launch. I want to see what it's like and see what's going on. And Best Buy is not far from us. It's 15 minutes. So I only have to drive 15 minutes and survive. Am I very nervous about it? Yes. Have I been for a long time? Yes.
But if there's one thing that's going to get you out there, it's a new
Well, your
Nintendo
car also
system.
drives itself.
it could, yes, but I haven't driven this car yet. So I
Well,
was
he
thinking
wants to
tomorrow I gotta
play-
go with MomBrain and drive around the parking lot like I'm 17 again.
He wants to play Mario Kart on the way home, so he's going to hook that up, and the
Well-
car will drive him home, and then he'll be playing Mario Kart.
I
It's going to be
that-
great.
I took hi Vachi. Vachi says I got home before the storm got bad. Now I can enjoy the pod. We had a not horrible, but it was stormy last night. Lots of rain. I took a picture. Speaking of the Tesla, I took a picture for you do last weekend where I found out you could play Vampire Survivors in the car.
Yeah, how is that? How does that work? You can't do that while she's driving, can you?
You can't play any games while driving. We
in
were
the front seat. You probably could in the back.
maybe got a game in the back. We were charging the car at a mall, and we were she plugged it in the charge, and an ad popped up in the corner, or a notification popped up that said play Vampire Survivors, and I was like, Vampire Survivors is on the Tesla, so I played Vampire Survivors.
So it's not like an app store setup where you have to purchase it. You can you're just like on the Tesla network, and you can play the game.
They
because
have a
it's
selection
available.
of games that are like made to be played on the Tesla, and that is one
Feels
that's
like
in
you're on
the
a
Tesla
plane or
family.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's like. But played great. It's perfect for a touchscreen game. You're not doing anything except dragging your finger around the screen to move. So
Hey, I mean, if you're sitting there charging the car, and like it's a nice little time waster kind of thing.
Drake, we
Until the
unfortunately
car's fully charged, and you're like, yeah, one more round. Yeah, one more round.
That's
Yeah,
how it
one more
goes.
round.
That's how it
Drake, we
goes.
unfortunately have a Tesla. We are not happy about it. We have magnets all over it
And
telling people we're
last
not happy
night,
about it. But yes,
It was Ramit, myself, and Droth in the car. And we have an anti-Elon Tesla Club magnet. And
and then like another one that's like,
yeah, it's like a nice sentiment. And then a lowly worm.
oh, you're like dancing around it. It's just like, what? It's like inclusivity and all that stuff.
Yes.
You're gonna lose your government funding, but continue.
And then all of a sudden I can like feel that like someone's like coming up behind us fast, and a Tesla like jukes around us, cuts in front of us, and the passenger is giving us the middle finger out the window. And I was like, that is passionate. Like,
Wow.
If
very
that's the kind of
passionate.
reaction we're getting
you
from other
going
Tesla.
25 on the highway?
No?
We were in traffic.
Mm.
Like
If-
there was nowhere to go.
If that's the kind of reaction we're getting from other Tesla people, then I feel good. I'm like, okay, they're getting the message that we are not happy that we have this car. So
Yep.
I was happy. But yeah, they were juking around everybody. They
They
were
were
like,
being
they were
buttheads.
driving like a maniac. It was crazy. Like they
Cool.
were like
Yeah.
2 lanes on the road, and they were like zipping in and out of everyone.
They
It
were
was-
using both of them.
they were
Oh.
unsafely using both of them. But yes, it is the last few days before Switch 2. Nicky Hill's gonna have one. I'm gonna have one. Deux gonna have one. MomBrain did not because she's not a Nintendo fan. More
Well,
interested in
we have one in
MeUndies.
the house.
She's getting. Wait. Aren't you getting one from GameStop?
I thought you
Yes, but it's
were
not
getting
mine.
one. Oh, okay.
Going a cousin.
Oh.
Hi Nightwind, good to see you.
Oh.
So yeah, this is it. This is the last few days with just the regular Switch, and then it gets dropped in the garbage can, and we move on to Switch 2. We'll obviously talk a lot about Switch 2 and moving on from the Switch as the show continues, but we have other things to get into. So moving on. First things first, I have a quick opportunity that MomBrain reminded me of for you two. No pressure if you don't want to during the show, but if you do, I like that, and that's exciting. We have the
Well, we're gonna try on a pair of MeUndies.
Lemonade potato chips.
Oh,
The
nice.
Us lemonade potato chips. Are
Gotta
either of
try
you
'em.
willing to try them
Oh,
on the
goodness.
air?
They must be good. Huh?
Yeah.
I really like them. I honestly really like them.
It's hard to leave that much left.
Utz has made, well, you know how potato chip
Utzo.
bags are. They're like barely half full as it is. Utz has made a lemonade flavored potato chip, and I've been trying to hunt them down. Finally got them, and I legitimately enjoy them. Thank you, Deux, for presenting. So now Deux and I believe Nicky Hill will be doing a taste test,
Ooh, the
doing a smell
lemonade.
test. They have.
The bag doesn't, but the individual chip does.
Icedilbert says I did the lemonade chips last week. I did them. You guys want to do lemonade?
I did
chips?
them.
Take a little cluster here.
Yes, yes. MomBrain
Smell the
lemonade chip.
cluster.
A lemonade.
No, thank you.
Oh
A little
yeah.
stronger, right?
Is it the salt? Is it infused in the salt?
I believe it is. I believe it's a salt lemonade dusting. They are chewing. Can I have? I got it.
Yeah. I get down with that.
There you go. It's not a flavor combination I would ever think of, but having tried it, I was like, you know what? I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I like potato chips. I really do.
Well, I was saying yesterday that MomBrain is very much against the Doritos fiery mango chip that they did a while ago, and I really, really enjoyed those a lot. MomBrain tried the lemonade chip and was like immediately no, but then was like, wait a minute,
Yep.
and then tried more and was like, and gave him a 5 out of 10, which from MomBrain is a very big sign of approval because she doesn't usually go for things like this. So I say they're a hit. I say track them down if you can. They're at Walmart's, they're at Acme's, they're at Target's, they're somewhere else.
It
too.
reminds me a little bit of the Tostitos hint of lime. Have you ever had
I
that?
love
Yes.
hint of lime.
Yeah,
Love.
it's got because of that
Why don't
citrusy
you ask
flavor.
George?
It's doing it for
George, how do you feel about hint of lime
I
chips?
love hint of lime. Get those lemon chips away from me.
So hate lemon,
I don't
love
hate
lime.
it.
Okay,
I
just get them
don't-
away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish it was more than a hint. I wish it was a whole answer.
Perhaps a hint of chip, a lime chip with a hint of chip. Radical Defect says, I'm still waiting for Cheez It Pizza to come to the regional south. One day I can't make the pilgrimage up
Anytime
north
they do
for it.
Cheez It, I feel like it was good, and I appreciate you guys getting it and offering it to us. But I feel like the Cheez It flavor is lost in whatever it's paired with. Like it never really.
That's why we got the Cheez Its to sprinkle on top, because you can taste the Cheez It if you're searching for it. But yes, I would like
really,
it to be a
it
stronger
was just like
Cheez-It
a light,
flavor.
like a light cracker, like
Yeah.
baked crackery
It
crust.
was almost the texture that was cheesy.
yeah.
I was surprised at how much I enjoyed that Cheez-It pizza.
It was good.
You know,
It's a
for a,
good
for a
frozen
frozen
pizza.
pizza,
Yeah.
it was actually really good for a frozen pizza.
Yeah, I
thought.
agree. Yeah, I meant to look into like what oh, never mind. I meant to look into who is making that for them, because I'm sure it's one of the other frozen pizza companies, because I want to try their pizzas if I haven't already. But yeah, it's a good frozen pizza in general. So get out there, get your Cheez-It pizzas, get your lemonade chips, and remember, get your frozen
Lemonade.
pizzas. We've been doing that all week. Lemonade chips and all that good stuff. Okay. Let's go to
The videotape.
Patreon. MomBrain, did you know that you could join the Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Here's what we talked about this week on Patreon. I wrote about Survivor because I got back into watching Survivor. The latest season 48 is over. I used to watch Survivor religiously. MomBrain also watched Survivor pretty religiously for the first few seasons, and then we fell out of it. I didn't fall out of it because I was like, this is boring or bad. Just, fell out of it. Other things popped
was
up
too
and
good.
whatever. But the show's still on. They still do 2 seasons
48
a year.
years later, still on.
Yes, they do 2 seasons a year, so it has not been on for 48 years.
mm.
But I have some family
I
members
mean,
who are
it's been
still
on for less than 24 though, too. That seems like a long time, right? Oh God, but
It's
we've
been on
around a
for
long time.
24 years.
Has it really?
Yeah. 2 seasons a year.
Oh yeah.
We're old.
Do they still have the torches?
Oh yeah, come on. That's
Do they still do it on an island?
that's a big part of it. They're still on an island. They still got the torches. They still have
You
the
know,
immunity challenges.
I'm not one to like those reality shows. Is that what that is? A reality show?
It's a reality competition.
I hate those even more.
Can we dive into that without you getting frustrated?
I don't know what it is. I hate it. I don't ever want to watch it. But
all of them.
I would be so mean about this show, especially old Deux would be. But I like the host. Who's that guy?
Jeff Probst.
Greg Allman? Jeff Probst. Really like that. I don't know why that name came in my head. Yes, I like that guy. So therefore, I'm gonna not crap on a show that I've never watched.
Can you tell me why you're not down with those shows? I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. I'm just curious.
No, I don't. I don't know. Like, no, I really don't know. I think it's because I get real bitter. Like I don't like other humans, that aren't like my friends. I usually, so like I see these people and then I think the worst things of them, and then I, who would want to go on a show like this? And they're all like, and I get all these dark thoughts about it, and it's like, why am I even thinking about this about strangers? And like I generally am not a competition guy at all. Like I hate competition. I'm a very type B, like loser human. So I'm not like
Golly.
I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. So
if it makes you feel any better, there's times when I'm at work and there's contestants and I think very little of them in the moment too. I have the same problem.
It's got to be cool. It's got to be cool to like be there behind the camera and seeing all that stuff.
Well, let's also remember this. Like, yes, reality competition shows. They do cast people who are crappy sometimes because it makes for quote unquote good viewing. But also they cast people who are good and nice and normal people.
For me, it's kind of like how you are with The Price is Right. When there's somebody who comes to a competition and they're just so like rude to people and stuff like that, it's like, oh, I just really want this person to, you know what I mean?
But I still watch The Price is Right, even though I hate those people.
And I still show up to work when I have an opportunity.
Well, they're making money.
I wish
they
say the Survivor's been on for 24 years and they're probably still getting paid the same amount.
This season was filled with a lot of people who were baseline okay. Like there were a lot of people who were enjoyable that I was, when it got down to like the final 6 people, I was like, legitimately, any of these people could win. And I'd be like, I like this person. There were ones still I wanted more or less, but overall I was like, I'm okay with any of these people winning. And a lot of like diehard Survivor fans didn't like this season because they wanted more of like the backstabbing and more of the evil characters and all that stuff.
I want shows that are like feel good and like supportive.
Well,
like it's a competition, but let's also like
Nona's.
Like let's
Great British Baking Show.
Let's fight it out in the games, but also support each other when we're not.
That very much happened this season.
And people don't like that.
Yeah.
And so every time I talk to somebody about a show, they're like, yeah, that would never fly. And I'm like, yeah, well, let's try something different.
It flew right now. Yeah, this season in particular was very big.
Like it flew, but it didn't because they get a lot of kickback.
See, that's the thing. And a lady on TikTok brought it up who considers herself to be a diehard Survivor person, like has been for years. She's like,
Jeff Probst
we're missing. She's like, we're missing the point. We're the people who are like really in the thick of it, know every intricacy and want to see all like the big plays and the scheming and the wheeling and dealing. And she's like, there is an audience there for that. But we are the hyper-focused, minuscule audience. Like Survivor has been on for 48 seasons because it's like people are just watching for enjoyment, and there's people who just watch because they're like, I like this person, I'm going to follow them. They don't want to see all the moves and the behind the scenes scheming and all that. Like,
most people
the general public are watching it because they like the challenges, or there's people they latch on to, or they like Jeff Probst and all that.
I wish that was the case, but I think the general public likes the crappy behavior.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think when it comes to Survivor, it's a different like that. That ship has sailed a long time ago. Like, and especially not to be crap on CBS's audience, but they're old people. They're watching for, like if you're watching for that stuff, you're watching like Deal or No Deal Island or things like that, where it is like majority crappy people.
Oh, what's the one that just,
Wings of Voice.
No, there's an island. The island is in
Death
Maine.
Island.
No, it's man.
Total Drama Island. Naked Island.
No,
Thousand Island.
that's the one. It's a show about dressings.
Pettif Isle.
Pettif Isle.
Oh dear lord!
This is a reality show
It's a dating show.
on an island.
Virgin Island.
Oh,
And that one's a British one, I think. So
Haven't
you'll
heard of
probably
this.
like it. So they're all virgins, and they go to this island to try to woo connect.
Yeah. I don't know.
I tried to pitch a cooking show called Dessert Island,
Oh,
and I had nothing to go with except for the name.
Oh. Virgin Island is a 2025 British reality show. Show has 12 adult virgins who live together on an island. 7 experts guide them in exploring their intimacy issues through the use of somatic therapy. Okay. The Guardian called it surprisingly empathetic. There you go. So I don't know that that's really a reality competition show in this sense.
Probably not a
Who's going to be the
competition.
first to be not a virgin? Yeah, not a competition.
Maybe it's not a dating show. It's just
Doesn't seem like a dating show. It just seems
lifestyle
like
show.
a whole bunch of people that share something in common are getting together to figure out how they've arrived at that. So that's my first of hearing about the show. I don't know anything else about it. But anyway, Survivor this season was very much I'm very happy I watched it. I'm back in on Survivor. I'm going to watch every season. But season 50 so next is season 49. That's this fall, and then spring will be season 50, but they're going to start filming
that's the
season
one
50.
That's the biggest cast ever.
Yes, they're bringing
Mhm.
back people from throughout the show's history. They're bringing back Colby, who
Chase,
won the
or-
second season.
What's
They're
that,
bringing
Chevy
back
Chase?
Jenna from the very first season. They're bringing back blah, blah. But the
They're
real,
actually going to bring back Wilson and Tom Hanks.
well, the big one that they're bringing back is
Mike White.
Mike White. The
you know, White Lotus guy.
yeah, because he was on the show and is a huge fan. And Jeff was saying before he did White Lotus, but after he was on the show, he was like, if you guys are ever doing a season where you're bringing back people, I want to come back.
They've
Let
done
me
that,
come
though,
back.
right?
They have, yeah. They've had seasons where they bring people back, and but
But he
like,
didn't have a hit TV
I
show.
know that.
but then he
That's
did the TV show. So Jeff was like, no chance in
Listen.
hell is he ever going to come back. And he got in touch with him again, and he was like, no, I'm serious. I like if you're doing the show, I want to come back. Like so,
And, but like heads
wants
up
to
to all
rub
the
it in
people who are
everyone's
going to be
face.
involved. If you've ever watched White Lotus, you know a key cast member dies every season.
oh, someone's dying in
so
Survivor
yeah,
season 50.
I wouldn't. I'd maybe sit this season out.
Well, I didn't watch his season when he was on, but my understanding is he made it to the
Somebody
very
goes home
end
in
and
a body
lost.
bag.
Like he was right there, the final tribal council, and lost. So he's
Hopefully-
apparently a very good player, which makes sense for the type of show he writes because it's all about personalities and people being on an island and working together. So seeing him on season 50, I'm sure will be a lot of fun. But
Hopefully, a world-renowned eccentric detective also gets invited for some reason, so that if there is a murder, he can solve it.
there's a few to choose from. Who we got? We got Monk. We got Poker Face. We got
I'm talking about, what's his name?
yeah, you know,
David
Blanc,
Blanc. Yeah, What is it?
Benoit.
Benoit Blanc? Is that what it is, or Blanc?
Yeah,
Is that his name? Benoit Blanc.
I believe so.
What other? Is Columbo still alive? Probably not.
In our hearts.
Yeah.
Character still alive? Sure. What other?
Is-
Sherlock. He's world renowned. Who else we got? Who's an eccentric detective? That's
House.
sure, a medical detective.
Hercule Poirot.
Poirot.
What about
Boy,
the,
my parents
the
loved watching that.
MathNet from Square One.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Is that a real person? I know the show. Is it a person in the show?
It's a show in the show.
Oh.
But is it a person?
There's people. I forget their. It's
What are we talking about?
Square One
guy.
What is
show from when we were
something.
kids. Guy
I'm looking
Smiley.
it up.
Guy Smiley. Guy Incognito.
Mm,
Guy Ritchie?
Guy Fiery.
Guy Fiery. What about L?
Oh, Death Note L. Yes, there
George
you go.
Franklin and Kate Monday.
Case closed.
Joe Howard and Beverly Leach.
Detective Conan, your anime comment brought me to another anime comment. Wow. Your basic bitch anime comment has stuck with me so much.
Think about it. I mean, it's about as basic as it gets.
Dew called himself a basic bitch when it came to watching anime. I'm not calling him a basic bitch. He said it about himself. But when he made the comment, I felt bad.
Why? Because the things that you like are Ghost in the Shell and Akira.
I don't like Ghost in the Shell. Actually, that's
Oh.
one of the ones I don't like. But no, because I watched what Frieren and Solo Leveling
Mhm.
and that Viking one.
And
Yeah.
But-
Attack on Titan.
But like,
Yes.
Oh, you're a big fan.
I'm just talking about this year, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
And like, 2 of them were like award winning.
Crunchyroll Anime Awards came out, and Solo Leveling like won a ton. And there are things I think it should have won and things I think it shouldn't have won. But Frieren won a few as well. So he saw the list of what won or some of the things that won, and he's like, "I'm a basic anime bitch."
I mean, it doesn't bother me because I'm not necessarily trying to broaden my anime horizons. You know, I just usually go on whatever RMC recommends. But it was kind of telling that it was like, oh, I really enjoyed these. Oh, everybody really enjoyed that. You're not unique, basically.
Yeah, like when it comes to, I mean, you know how much I love
but I
Frieren.
think
I think that's one of the best anime I've ever seen and one of my favorite shows in general. But when it comes to like recommendations where like anime that I'm watching that I may even talk about, like when we're playing Fortnite or whatever, is scratching the surface of like what's out there and what I'm watching. Yeah, like it's like anything.
And those are the
There's so
things
much
that are
more when
like-
you dig deeper. But
Those are like the most widely like accepted or whatever. Like those would be the ones that you like because there's a lot that you don't like, right? So
he
it
doesn't
just
know.
makes sense.
I guess you could say I don't know because it's not like I'm giving these shows a
They're most
try, but I can look
accessible.
at, for instance, what Icedilbert's GIF is. I don't know what show that's from, but that's an example of
That's
something.
that's down to Don.
Yeah, that's an example
But
of
that's
something
another
that would
basic
make
bitch
me
one.
not want to watch it because it looks like very tropish, right? That looks like
Don to Don, when it comes to anime, as far as tropes, you're going to get a lot of the trope style stuff. Yeah, definitely. And I'd say it's cranked up to 11. But MomBrain could, she's not big on anime tropes, but she really likes Don to Don.
But
so
that's,
I mean,
that's a great point. The anime tropes annoy me, but like, why should it stop me from trying something? Because like, you never know. Like,
Don is just great to look at. Like,
If you
it's
were-
just fun to watch.
there
to
you
see.
could watch Don to Don from other, like MomBrain's right, from other aspects and get an enjoyment out of it. If you were just watching from a visual standpoint or even a shot direction standpoint, it is phenomenal. If you're watching for like, say you really like action scenes or scenes put to music, Don to Don has some of the coolest damn stuff I've ever seen. Like, there are action scenes in that show that are like 3 to 4 minute unbroken scenes that are mind-boggling. Like the way they're paired with music, I was like, this is incredible stuff. Then there's, the tropish stuff. Then Don to Don is a love story. Like, there's a whole bunch of things you can get from Don to Don, definitely. But yes, if you're turned off by what you consider to be anime tropes, like, lots of faces being pulled or lots of, like characters acting very strange, quote unquote strange. I think about it a lot, and it's a whole conversation I could have for another day. But it's like, you
save
watch
it for
Warner
then.
Brothers cartoons and they're filled with exactly the same kind of stuff, except that that's what you grew up on and they aren't serious cartoons. But then you see that stuff in, anime where another whole set of quote unquote crazy stuff is going on. A lot of people are like, what's this insanity? But, you watch Tex Avery cartoons or Warner Brother cartoons where eyes are popping out of heads and tongues are rolling across the floor and people are screaming with giant mouth. It's all the same stuff. It's just you grew up on one and you didn't grow up on the other. So it's a whole discussion to have for another day. For now.
But you've watched some of the films, right? Did you like?
but
Spirited Away and
everything
stuff
I
that?
like, I think would be considered basic, like
Yeah.
Ninja Scroll, Akira, all the Miyazaki movies. Like, that's about it. Like,
There's nothing. I mean,
that's pretty safe as far as anime
safe
goes.
is a better word. Yeah, I don't want to say basic and like have it have a negative connotation. Like, it's safe, yes. But those are award-winning and well respected and renowned, and like, it's not like they're bad by any
Right.
stretch of the imagination. It's just, if someone knows of anime or has come across anime, chances are the things you mentioned are going to be ones that they've seen, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's a cute photo, Nightwind.
It is.
Very cute cat picture. There was something about, oh, dude, there's been one that I've been toying with talking to you and what the hell was Adam's name on the podcast?
Grimbles.
Grimbles. I've been talking to you and Grimbles about because
No, it's Adam.
it's
apparently.
basically a it's very close to Shogun if it had more of like the spiritual mythological side to it. It's like actually it's kind of like that with spiritual mythology and some like Columbo to it, where there's like a weekly mystery that goes on, but it's no tropes at all.
Shogun.
It's very serious, and it's like in that era.
Is it called Shogunbo?
It's not called
Because that was
Shogunbo,
really good.
but it is now. But yeah, I've toyed about talking to you two about it, and every time I'm like, I'm not going to talk about it. But they just announced a dub. I finished the season just ended now, the first season sub, and they announced the dub, and I was like, maybe I'll let the dub fully come out, and then I'll talk to them about it. But I think there might be something to it, and it's not basic. It's one people know about, but not really know about, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I think I was just coming from like the wrong headspace to look at it. It's like it's not a bad thing that the things that I've watched are, mainstream, I guess you could say, and I enjoyed them. So who gives a crap? And it I'm not rushing out to watch every anime ever now, but it has opened a door where it's like if you suggest something, I'm a little more pliable, right? So. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I have to get all up in arms about everything, but it's easy to do that.
I also talked about, speaking of shows, The Rehearsal, just because I talked about...
now, is that a reality show? Because that would be an example of something that I love. That's a reality show.
Definitely
but,
a reality show.
Nathan Fielder approaches reality shows in a different way.
And that's why it's easier for me to like that than
it's funny because like
quote regular reality show.
You go like Don to Don anime weirdness and Rehearsal weirdness, and I'd be like, Rehearsal is the weirder show by far.
So I told you there was like a video
great.
that I watched. They basically like tie it back. Do you remember the film Schenectady, New York?
Oh yeah, real happy one, happy-go-lucky film. Right?
So this playwright is putting on a play, or director or whatever. He's putting on a play, but he wants it to be the most immersive play. So he basically creates this entire world for this play to exist, and like it blurs the line between reality and fiction to the point where he's like living in this reality. That's that is truly what Nathan Fielder does. Like he wants to create this reality experience, but like he creates a reality where for that reality to it's like a whole thing. I can't explain it really well.
I just talked about the show. I don't want to spoil anything, but I talked about the show, how amazing this season was. I loved the first season, but this season was even better in my opinion. And it was just I know it's a show that's going to be hard for many people to get into, but if you can and you're willing, then I think there's something really special there. And I honestly think it tackles an important issue, and he's getting some traction with it because he was on CNN a few times this week talking to people. So it's very interesting, but it's not for everybody. People in the comments were talking about it, and someone in particular was like, I am very, very, very adverse to cringe in shows. Would I be able to watch this? And I was like, honestly, I don't think there's any chance you'd be able to watch this. Like, if you have a very hard time watching cringy stuff, you're going to have an extremely difficult time with this show.
I've seen worse cringe too. Cringe gets me really bad too. And I didn't find this show to be nearly as cringy as others. I was more just in awe as to how you think of every aspect of it, from conception to how they made it happen and all the little turns it takes along the way. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, my jaw was on the floor like every episode. Yeah, because you have no clue.
Especially the last one. I was laughing out loud within the first 5 minutes of, not because it was funny, but because of disbelief of what they were saying was going to happen.
I just don't know where the start is and like what came first, the chicken or the egg situation. Also saw on TikTok, because I saw the name and I just didn't do research for myself. Carrie Kemper is like one of the producers on it. She has been working with Nathan since Nathan For You or before that. writing, producing. So who knows exactly like how much is him, how
That's
much
what I
is
said
her,
in the post.
how much
yeah.
are like it comes from outside elements. But yeah, I don't
Whatever
know.
he's got around him and within himself has made something very unique and interesting and special, and we just got to enjoy it while it's here. I'm sure there's going to be a third season of the rehearsal, but
So yeah, so like I don't know, just to whatever. I can't get into it here.
it is an amazing show.
I saw a TikTok of someone who got to meet the pilots on her flight. She was in the cockpit and she was filming,
Yes,
and
I
she
saw
was
that.
asking them if they were on dating apps.
I liked a
because-
TikTok today where somebody said like just their caption said like the work Nathan has done is making a difference, and they were like recording 2 separate pairs of pilots in 2 airports who were like sitting face to face talking to each other and laughing, and they were like, Nathan's making it happen.
Was it Captain Blunt and Captain All Ears?
Maybe that's I couldn't hear what they were saying, but maybe that's what they were role
God,
playing.
that's so funny.
So yeah, the show's amazing. You should watch it. I also talked about dark games, and I don't mean subject matter dark. I mean visually dark games, and how sometimes developers
Oh, the one of Thrones,
take
the Game of Thrones. Never mind.
because it's dark.
That one episode was so dark.
Oh,
It's
yes,
like,
He
that's
made
right.
the same
Yeah,
joke
yeah,
that
yeah,
I made
yeah.
when you
It's
told
too
us on
dark, I can't
Fortnite.
handle
Yes.
it. And then the director of photography came out and was like, it was supposed to be. Like,
You're supposed to
Hand me
not be
my
able to see anything.
Starbucks, will you?
Yeah, games where I think they take darkness too far because you literally can't see in sections to play the game.
oh,
And I
does it
said
have to do
whenever
with
I
Alan Wake?
Huh?
Does it have to do with Alan Wake?
Yeah, that's what I was writing about. It's not the only game where that's happened for me, but yeah, when you start a game, usually the game's like select your brightness level, and I always go like another 25% past what they suggest because I'm like I want to be able to see while I'm playing the game. And Alan Wake
He wants to get a
2,
sunburn while he's playing.
Alan Wake 2 multiple times has gotten me into situations where I'm like, I legit cannot see what's going on here. I'm lost
And
in trees.
They
I'm
give
lost
you a flashlight.
in
you know?
alleyways.
You can't turn the flashlight on and off by yourself, right? It only comes on at certain times,
No, you can with
or
no,
does,
you can.
I don't remember. I don't
With
recall.
Saga 100% you can. I'm trying to think with Alan. I think with Alan you can.
But you were still getting turned
Yeah,
around.
like in the subway section, like it's like pitch black with maybe like red lights peppering every so often, and you have your beam of light, sure, but like you got to spin around and look, and like you can't get a full picture of everything that's going on around you, and plus you're using the clicker to suck lights out of things and pop them in other places. So I'm like,
right.
I want to explore down here, but I can't see. And then there's shadow people who are literally just black blobs. So like they're wandering around, and I'm like, I want to, and edges of maps are, I don't know, weird. Like it's a wall that you can't go through. But if you wander into one, the screen also gets even darker. So I've wandered into those edges and I literally cannot see anything. I spin around, flashlight, nothing. It's just blackness. And I have to look at them. I bring up the map to reorient myself to walk out because I can't see. And Alan will be like, I don't know. He says something like, the writer wouldn't let me get out that way or something like that.
It took somebody liking the image for me to realize that Icedilbert said this is my favorite part of Alan Wake 2, and like there was nothing there, but it was
not
just a black
voting.
screen.
It's not like that all the
Well
time.
played.
But like I said to you, do now I'm in the section that is the theme park, and that's dark, but
Ooh.
not dark so that I can't get around. Like I can see what's going on, everything's fine, and like I'm okay.
I'm not trying to be funny here. Isn't the area that you explore as Alan Wake called the Dark Place?
The whole thing is the dark place.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
But like
check and mate.
you go inside the dark place, like you go inside.
Seems like they went for something and they achieved it. Yeah.
Hi Eli, good to see you. You go inside.
Lock the door and turn the lights down low.
You open up the door to the apartment building where Alan lived, and you're walking through there. That's fine. Very dimly lit, very moody, still dark, but you can see what's going on there. The subway, I was like, and like some of the alleyways when you're just walking street level, I'm like, I can't see what's going on there. But again, not the only game where I've had darkness issues. Usually, though, you turn up the darkness setting or the brightness setting, and it's okay. But here, it doesn't seem like they very clearly wanted a very base level of dark. That
And you never, you decided not to go higher on the brightness scale.
I took it all the way up to 100, whatever it was. But then you just have a very washed out image, and it doesn't actually make things brighter. It's just, everything looks like faded, and
So even when you brighten it, it's still dark.
it's still
Like that
dark.
environment.
Yeah,
is
it's like you're not walking around in black. You're walking around in light gray, but you
Oh.
still can't see what
So
you're
what
doing.
is it like? The only thing I can kind of maybe relate it to. There's probably something else that I've played that I could relate to, but Max Payne, there was like those dream sequences where you're walking on like a dark screen following a crying baby.
That's funny. Who made that game?
No, I know. That's why I'm saying
It's their thing. They
Sir, yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Austin. So I took a picture of MomBrain buying MeUndies.
Buying
And sent it to Austin and didn't explain it. And he replied just now and said satisfaction guarantee. So I hope that you ordered them.
No, I wanted.
You ordered MeUndies.
I wanted to check with you before I.
Oh, why? What? How much are they?
It was like $11, but I
Order it. Go nuts.
Okay.
I would go nuts in MeUndies. You'd go.
So wait,
flat.
$11.
Go
So you
flat.
bought him. You bought him MeUndie, just the one.
What are you buying for MeUndies?
I don't. I figured I'd see what you wanted.
Oh, I don't want any MeUndies.
Oh my god. Oh
You
my-
undies.
Let's play back the tape.
I'm confused, but I'm willing to
You know
move
why
forward.
we're confused? Because the goddamn name is MeUndies. It's
Also,
just
because it
you
sounded
undies.
like you were all in on buying them to support any Austin and now
her
you-
buying them. I don't want MeUndies. I don't want any undies. I want to go to, a store where I can buy a pack of underwear
You don't
for
want outer
$5.
space boxer brief MeUndies?
No, I don't.
Mm.
I buy the cheapest clothing possible.
Not even for any Austin. You heard.
I
it
want a
here.
bag of underwear that is $5 and will disintegrate after one wash. That's
And you get like 7 pairs inside.
yeah,
all different
exactly.
colors.
Exactly. That's what I want. That's MeUndies.
It's
No,
Mimi
you
undies.
MeUndies. You do whatever you want.
Mimi wants a bro ouch.
So I talked about that. What else did I talk about? I'm in the wrong.
We were
thing.
like this close to getting a MeUndies sponsorship, and you just blew it because
Wait, we're
you
not
don't
that close.
because you want you undies.
Let me tell you, if I wanted sponsorships, we could have them at the butt, but they're going to be about gambling. They're going to be about alcohol. They're going to be about marijuana. It's
And they
they're-
pay us. We'll get paid to do.
Oh
it.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
what's the
yeah.
problem?
They would.
They pay you, but you have to gamble it. You have to use
Yeah.
it to gamble. So
Oh,
there's
Just
you really
spin a
yeah.
wheel and you. And then the other two things I talked about. Oh no. I talked
Oh.
about one more thing. This week, some people managed to get their hands on the Switch 2, and as far as we can tell, it was legitimate as far as they paid money and they got the system, but we don't know how the people they bought it from got the system. So the people that own it now paid money for a good, but the person that they bought it from, I don't know how they managed to get those units early. But anyway, people that bought them,
Haven't we heard this before in a different situation?
we heard rumors of in China.
No,
Them,
but like in the past, right?
have we heard about people buying things early in the past? Yes, I can say confidently.
They
yes.
buy it legitimately, but they buy it from somebody who stole it or acquired it in
Yeah, it's like everybody on eBay and any other
unnatural
third-party
or
site.
whatever. But they were like they still got penalized for it, right? Because they're not supposed to have
Who
it
gets
even.
penalized with what from where?
Ev-
Are we all talking about Nintendo
parties
here?
end up getting
We're
penalized.
talking about video games in general or Nintendo or
Whatever the
hell.
hell you want.
What are you talking about? Previous Nintendo systems?
I thought it was a conversation we had at this table. but I
So
don't-
previous Nintendo systems.
Perhaps.
I'm trying to drill down on what you're saying.
We
and you
haven't
keep
had
dodging
too many
it.
conversations at this table, so
I
you
know.
should be able to get this.
Yes,
The
in
only
the
thing I know
past-
that we've talked about is MeUndies.
There in the past there have been people who have bought Nintendo systems from third parties that got them, however,
right.
and there have been situations where Nintendo has gotten upset about it. I don't remember what exactly happened, but
I think in that situation, that type of situation, like all parties end up getting in trouble, even though the people who thought they were doing it properly end up.
I don't see how somebody could be like, I did it properly, unless they're just going through like eBay or something. Because then you're like, yeah, I'm not questioning where these people got it from. I'm just paying money to get the thing. But anyway, some people got their hands on the system. They can't use it because the system needs a day one update to function. So we now know that what Nintendo said last week was true. When we heard that Nintendo wasn't sending out Switch 2s early to press, it was because there was an update that was needed, and without the update, the system you wouldn't be able to play games. Turns out that's true.
Question about that.
Yeah.
Couldn't they just, assuming the update ready? It's just not going to be ready. So they're literally
is the
working
update ready?
on
No, the update's ready. Yeah, Nintendo hasn't pushed it live yet.
And they couldn't push that out to reviewers that they give a Switch to?
No, because they know what's happening right now would happen. So they wanted to avoid that, and they were right. So they were right.
But the avoidance is just like, you still have the Switch 2, you just can't play it till launch day. Gotcha.
Yeah, so they can't show game footage. They can't spoil everything. All they could be is like, here's the startup, and here's how you set up the Switch 2, and that's it. So Nintendo wanted to stave off people who would leak their games and leak the content and record gameplay footage, and now they
can imagine that's happening day one anyway, right?
Yeah, but then day one is day one. Like, anybody, it's legitimate.
Maybe they won't get in trouble because there's nothing to get in trouble about.
If Martinet finds them, they better hope he doesn't.
Well, the person who bought it wouldn't get in trouble, I would imagine, but Nintendo wants to be like, who did you buy this from? What's going on here? And
rat him out.
Apparently Nintendo, according to former Nintendo employee Kit Ellis, Nintendo has ways to figure this out, and they take it very seriously. So
his name is Martin A.
It's like Reggie selling them out of his garage.
Who knows what
He's got an inside line.
Who knows? But we saw leaked videos of the whole startup process for the Switch 2, like the settings and all that stuff, because that's the only thing we can see. And those videos were yanked pretty quickly. But you know how the internet works. Once something's on the internet, it's there forever. So Nintendo may have copyright claimed all these videos on various services, but you go on social media and other places and you can find it with very minimal searching. So we saw the little animation that happens when your Switch 2 is ready. So like you do all your settings and you connect to the internet and you do your profiles and all that stuff. And then you see your little Switch 2 animation where the logo plays and the system comes to life and the little icons animate and you hear a whole bunch of sound effects and noises and there's a little ditty that goes along with it. You'll probably only ever hear that once or twice in your entire lifetime. There was one for the Switch. Probably don't even remember it there, but if you got another Switch, like a Switch OLED or something, then you may have seen it again. So Nintendo again put the effort into creating this unique animation and startup for the Switch 2 that you'll probably only see once or twice. And I saw it and I like, it's just one of those things where it's like exciting because it's, you know, the next Nintendo system and I'm a Nintendo dork. And like, it's just one of those little touches that just, you know, the Xbox and PlayStation, they start up and they wouldn't do this kind of thing because they'd be like, we're a serious system and games are serious and or this for hardcore gamers. And Nintendo's like, here's little whimsical animations and all these things make weird, silly sound effects when they pop up. And it just like, it brought a little tear to my eye. I'm like, this is the kind of this is the kind of stuff that I really love. I just like that little animation. And people in the comments were like, I wish you had the option to play this every time the Switch 2 started up. Like you turn on your Switch and it went like, and did the thing. And I was like, yeah, I would like that. I want to see that. I miss the days of like the PlayStation 1 or the Dreamcast or the GameCube or
DS.
The DS. Yes, exactly. Like I like those little things. My favorite of all time might be the Dreamcast. That Dreamcast one is phenomenal. I know we've talked about it a few times over the years, but just that white screen with the swirl logo bouncing across the letters, and it's very like ethereal, the noises, like it's so good. It's easily one of my favorites. The PlayStation 1 is another favorite of mine. I really love that PlayStation 1. PlayStation 2 I enjoy. It's a little disconcerting.
Okay.
I like it, but it's not my favorite.
I like it because it's classic. I like it better than the PlayStation 3. And I couldn't even tell you what 4 and 5 do when they start up. And I
PlayStation 3, I remember because it was Sony so far up their ass because it's one like orchestral chord or whatever. And it's just
right. It's like they're tuning like before they're gonna perform something great.
4. What is 4?
I couldn't even tell you. I don't even know if it made a
What
sound.
is 4?
I thought it was similar to that.
And it's
It
crazy
was
because
like the Misty thing, or was that after you're already into it?
I don't
Jesus
remember.
Christ! It was the last system, and I can't remember. That's crazy.
Yeah, for me, I'd have to say my most nostalgic, so therefore my favorite would be PlayStation 1. I love that weird tune.
I'm playing PlayStation 4 right now. The startup sound. So says YouTube. You're not hearing anything right now because this is taking forever. Oh, that's what it is. That thing, yeah.
Of course.
That little background noise.
I didn't hate that. But
Oh,
it's but
it goes a little south.
I
But I
forgot,
forgot.
man.
Yeah, I forgot all about
Yeah,
it.
so it's not one. And then PlayStation 5, it's whatever. It's a lot of this noise because I'm backing out of menus. Whoomp, whoomp. I hear that all the time, but there's
yeah.
like I can hear it. It's it's not a song you can sing. It's very like ethereal, but it's not bad. But it's not anything where I'm like, remember that startup. I do love the GameCube. We just saw the GameCube one a couple weeks ago because I set up my GameCube again. And I love that the logo start, but I also really love when you start up the GameCube without a disc and it goes to the cube menu and you hear that whoom, whoom. Something about that. I love that noise.
Yeah, when I found out that you can hold down the A button and go straight to that while it's loading up, I was like blown away because if you hold the button a little bit, it turns into the cube, but
Yeah.
you can let go of
Yeah.
it and like it
Yeah.
was great. It was like the next best thing to Mario 64 playing with Mario's face and,
Icedilbert.
like grabbing his nose.
Yes.
So you're like, this is incredible.
Yeah. Steel Diver says, did you hear the new Nintendo console coming out? Yes, I did hear about that. It's coming out this week. Blood Ocean in the Discord put in the Xbox startup. I will say I have fond memories of that and remember it very well. I don't know if it's one of my favorites, but I remember to like wow, 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 blah, 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 bing. Like I remember the whole thing. What was Xbox 360? Spun around sphere with the X and then it flew at you. I don't remember what noise it made though.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Dreamcast is the king. You heard it here. This Nintendo podcast says Dreamcast is the king. DS was a great one. What did 3DS have?
No.
Did 3DS have a startup? It had to, right?
Where is that one?
Oh my god, it's right here. It's right here.
Wow.
We're turning it on.
That's a 2. Is that a 2DS or
XL.
3DS XL?
2DS XL.
Oh, might be different.
Taking a long time to start. Oh, that's it. It's just like the ding, 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 and like the menu spinning and all that stuff. Not really a startup noise as you would call it back in the day.
Piper.
I guess we don't really have startup noises
Oh,
anymore.
enough, Mikey.
She looks so
Long
tired.
Hi, Piper. So yes, I just really like that animation on the Switch 2. It was cool to see that early. Everybody will see it when you start up your Switch or when you set up your Switch 2. So enjoy it while it's there because you're only going to see it once. And then the other two things I talked about on Patreon are related to games I'll be talking about later. So I will save them for later. Now, let us get into the final news week before Switch 2 is in our hands. Finally in our hands. It's happening, people.
Tell me about Pokemon. Tell me about Pokemon.
For asking.
There is Pokemon news this week.
I'm feeling so great.
Strange.
I'm feeling so great. I'm feeling so great.
Josh, are you excited about Switch 2?
Yes, I really did.
You really did get excited. I thought you'd hit me with a hell yeah, but
I'm
okay.
feeling so great.
Okay. Thank you, Josh. Glad you're feeling great.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's what I was waiting for, Josh. I was waiting for another one.
Whatever.
Hold on a minute. Somebody in Discord, William says, I bought a game this morning. You mentioned on the old Patreon. It's just as good as you said it was. Wow. William, that's great. I'm going to guess it's well, it's one I'm talking about later, but I'm so excited to talk about that game. And I'm so excited to talk to you two about this game. But I'm more excited to talk to you about it because I think you're going to, I don't know, whatever. I'm very excited to talk to both of you about it. But now let's talk about news.
Glad to be here.
Amazon Japan has revealed the Switch 2 pre-order figures for various details. This was a very interesting breakdown. So, Amazon Japan did take pre-orders for the Switch 2. You know, here in the States, they did not. And that's because Amazon and Nintendo here in the States do not get along, and we don't know officially why. But in Japan, they did take pre-orders, and Amazon Japan said, we are going to have very limited numbers of pre-orders. Very, very limited. So now we know just how many units were pre-ordered and some other details. 60,000 Switch 2 units were pre-ordered. Of that, there were 600 units pre-ordered of the Japanese language only version. You might remember in Japan, they have the Switch 2. They have the Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle, but there's two versions of the Switch 2. One of them is region free, just like we're getting. Well, one of them is Japan only, how systems used to be. So if you get that Japan only Switch 2, that means you can only buy games released in Japan. Again, that's how systems used to be.
An option
because it's much cheaper. And Japan usually focuses on like their gaming audience is more interested in what's going on. Like they know everything that comes out in the States and Europe is most likely going to make it there. Maybe not the same day or date, but it'll get there. But there's way more games that only come out in Japan that never release anywhere else or get localized, we should say. Now systems are region free. You can get whatever game you want, but it may not be in English. But so in Japan, it's just not as big of a thing because, again, that's how systems used to be for all of us. But in Japan, there's going to be more games that only get localized in Japanese, so it doesn't really matter.
So are you going to get a Japanese Switch 2?
No, because my Switch will play Japanese games, just unlocalized.
Okay.
So if you only care about getting games that are released in Japan and say, like, you know, some game comes out in America and it comes out a month earlier than it does in Japan. If you have the Switch 2 that is Japan only, you won't be able to get the earlier version. You'll just have to wait until it launches in Japan, but not a big deal. And it saves you a lot of money. It's like, don't quote me on this. It's like $80 to $100 cheaper. It's considerably cheaper. So 600 people bought that version in Japan. The Switch 2 with Mario Kart Japan only, that was the big mover. That sold over 40,000 units in pre-orders. And then there's the Switch 2 Japanese language system, 256 gig micro SD card included. That got over 10,000 units sold. Then there's the what's this? A bundle with everything all together, and that's another 10,000 units. We also have accessory pre-orders. What do you think is the most pre-ordered accessory? If you're not looking at this list, did you already look at it?
I'm still looking at it.
Okay, don't look at it. I'll give you the list of everything, and you tell me what you think is the most popular accessory. There's the camera, an extra dock, an extra AC adapter, an extra set of Joy-Con, a Joy-Con charging grip, or a Joy-Con wheel for racing games. Which one of those do you guys think? And you know what we never do? You two talk to each other and decide on one you want to nominate together.
Yeah, why don't you tell me what
I saw.
Oh, come on. You saw it?
Yeah, I did.
Is it?
All right, then it's just you do.
This is Japan only, or this is
We're talking about Japan, yeah.
Um,
Again, I'll give you the quick rundown.
Yeah.
Camera, dock, AC adapter, Joy-Con charging grip, or wheel.
I want to say it's not. I want to say camera, but I have a feeling that it would be something strange like the wheel.
Okay, so your answer is?
So my answer is going to be wheel.
Okay. Camera and wheel are tied. They're middle of the road pre-orders.
Oh, okay.
Both of them got 1,000 units, so that's roughly. But I would have guessed Joy-Con. I also would have been wrong. That's 1,000 units roughly there too. The winner by far was the Joy-Con charging grip. 3,000 of those were pre-ordered. So people
Charges while you play?
Yeah.
And you charge the grip up separately?
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's what people want.
That thing seems like if I wasn't a pro controller dude, I would invest in something like that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pro controller.
Do they
I'm going to
not
use
have
the
a Pro
Joy-Con.
controller?
They do, yeah. Just pre-orders on Amazon they did not have. I am going to use the Joy-Con for stuff like Switch 2 Welcome Tour because, that's the best way to experience that. And then,
We have to buy that separately, right?
yeah, $10.
$10.
When it comes to multiplayer, your Joy-Con are always attached to the Switch or now the Switch 2, so they're always charged up and ready for somebody else to come in and play. So I don't need the charging grip or whatever.
Wait, I'm sorry. What's $10 that we have to buy?
You don't have to buy it. Switch 2 Welcome
Welcome
Tour, that's
Welcome
software.
Oh, okay.
We also have the breakdown of sales of software. So here we go.
I didn't see that.
There's Game Card. No, it's no guessing
it's
here.
right here.
There's Game Card, there's Game Key Card, and there's Code Inbox. And people were talking about, you look at the internet and it's like Game Key Card is the worst thing that's ever been invented by man. And nobody's going to support it. Well, the numbers from Japan show us that it seems like Japanese people, at least Japanese people, aren't bothered by it at all. There is the Switch 2 exclusive software. So that's full games on traditional game card. That would be Mario Kart World, for example. That accounts for 41% of what was pre-ordered software-wise. Then there's all Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive software. So that's all game key card stuff. That accounted for roughly 30% of what was pre-ordered. So people in Japan are totally fine with game key cards. Then there's all Switch 2 edition on game cards. So that's stuff like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom or Zelda Breath of the Wild, but Switch 2 editions of those. That accounts for 28%. Then there's Switch 2 edition software that's code in box. So games that it's not like Split Fiction isn't a Switch 2 edition because it didn't come out on Switch, but it's a code in box. But anyway, code in box accounts for literally 0.55%. And I think that's because there's very few code in box. And what is there? There's Split Fiction, and I think there's one other.
Split Fiction is only coming out that way?
I mean, it's digital, but your retail version of Split
okay.
Fiction is a physical box and a code inside that box. That is it, yeah. Why they didn't do game key card, that I don't know. I mean, code and box will still be cheaper than game key card, but I don't know. So there's your figures.
I need you to know that Piper twice tried to get me to sit with her on the couch.
Oh,
I know.
Let's bring the couch in here.
She
Is she feeling all right?
yeah, she just gets where she's like, I would like to sit with you, please, right now. And this is
her
where
blanket's
we sit.
not out on the chair.
Yes, it is.
Patchwork blanket?
Oh no.
You want to go put that on the chair? She's been sitting there a lot lately. It's in my office.
She really just I think she's just lonely out there. I think she came to look at us like, guys.
All right, do you want me to go put it out?
I'll go put it out.
Comment from Entropy. They say third party. They talk about the game key cards selling pretty well, and they say don't like this trend, but so many games only have key cards, so I guess it's not a big surprise. Yeah, it could be a case of people being like, well, this is my only option, so I'm going to buy it, or people being like, I'm okay with game key cards and buying it, or this is what's available at launch. We don't know. We need more games out on Switch 2. We need more time with the system to get a better idea of what's available. So we'll see what happens there. Nintendo in Japan has announced an initiative where they're teaming up with 3 companies, Mercari, Yahoo, and Rakuten. And they have signed agreements with these companies in an effort to prevent fraudulent listings of Nintendo-related products, and that includes the Switch 2. So what this means is they're going after resellers on those platforms who are posting up, illegitimate Nintendo products. But on top of that, Switch 2 pre-orders. They're saying you can't go on these third-party resellers and sell a Switch 2 pre-order because, A, if you got yours through Nintendo said in their terms of service that is not allowed. And then a lot of other retailers in Japan have said that is not allowed. So if you're selling a Switch 2 right now, that's impossible because you don't have the Switch 2. You're selling a pre-order. And then if you say you're selling a pre-order, in most cases, that is also not allowed. So these retailers have signed a deal with Nintendo saying, like, yes, we will enforce this rule. And Yahoo jumped on it right away and took down a whole bunch of listings and suspended accounts that did it. And they want to make it clear. You are allowed to sell or you're allowed to resell your Switch 2 on all of these platforms. You just have to wait until the system actually comes out. If you're trying to sell the pre-order, in most cases, based on the terms of service of Nintendo or these third-party services or the retailer you got it from, that is against the rules. So you cannot do that. So a lot of auctions or listings were taken down because it's against the rules. Nintendo has yet to enact anything like this in the rest of the world, but usually Japan is the test pilot for this stuff, and we may see something like that similar here, especially in terms of bootlegs and all that. It's not going to happen before the Switch 2 comes out, so we can't. That's not going to be factored in, but bootlegs and all that stuff, certainly it could happen. King Broly says, I sort of get the impression that this won't be a problem. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm not sure how to take that. Deux, here you go.
There's a lot of people currently posting, like offering pre-orders for sale right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know in what way King Broly is saying it's not a problem, because we know resellers are a problem right now, if you consider them to be a problem. But Deux, here's your 1-2 punch of Pokemon news. One story right after the other. So we're doubling down this week.
Cool.
Very quickly, this one's covered in an instant. The next Pokemon Presents was announced. It's set for July 22nd, and we'll see all kinds of announcements there about the exciting world of Pokemon. So book that or mark that in your calendars. That's that for that story.
This is exciting.
Now here we go. Pokemon trading card game.
Well, that was you and I on a high school field trip on the bus. We were filming like a reality show, and I was like the country bumpkin going to the city for the first time. Yeah, all ad-libbed. Anyways,
reprising his role.
I was wondering if you would recognize it.
It sounded familiar. I just don't. Have you been watching old?
No, it just stuck in my head because I remember watching it and thinking, because we ad-libbed the whole thing, and I remember thinking it was so funny, and you were the only one to laugh at it, and I appreciated that, and I was just curious if maybe you remembered laughing at that.
I remember.
I'm remembering remembering.
He's
just because I do remember you being like you said, like country bumpkin being like, oh, the first time in the city. Oh,
yeah, it was,
and like you
so
commented
dumb,
on something silly, and then you're being like, I know.
Yeah, exactly right.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I've never heard this. I'm just realizing right now that neither of the sweet releases are top
right
stories.
Now.
I didn't know that they weren't top stories. I'm going in to do them now. So please.
That's embarrassing.
We'll
take over this next one. So Pokemon TCG Pocket hits 1 billion in revenue in 204 days.
This is what the people want.
Ooh, the first paragraph here says nobody cares about Pokemon anymore. Big news.
If you're going to report the news, report it correctly.
So, sorry. For those of you who didn't know what TCG meant, it says right here, trading card game. So Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket hits 1 billion in revenue in 204 days. 204 days hits 1 billion in revenue.
Okay, I'm back. I like how
you less than a year.
That was some great vamping, because in that like minute and a half, you only read what was in the title. So that's
all I could understand, and I didn't even understand that.
Yeah, it's Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket is available on mobile devices. It's been a huge hit. It came out this year. Basically, it lets you open up virtual Pokemon packs on your phone, and then you can also play Pokemon.
Trading Card Game Pocket.
So is this
all right? What do you want it called?
Well,
Let's do
no,
this.
because it's.
I'm tired of these complaints about names. I want a better name.
Pokemon is Pokemon Trading Card Game. So, like, I understand that that's just the way it's got to be, but like, it should be like Trading Card Pocket Game or something. You know, like Trading Card Game Pocket.
Yeah, the IP is Trading Card Game. Yeah,
no, I know.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it, but it also it doesn't. It's kind of like those abbreviations, you know, that have like machine or
ATM
like
machine
pin number, you know, like personal identification number.
Well, you know,
ATM
if you're a real
machine.
Pokemon fan, you call this Pokemon Pocket,
or you call it Pokepock. which I would.
Or you call it, the real fans call it Popo.
You call it PP.
PP. Popo.
So when
Popo Shisha.
when you're playing Pokemon, the trading
Popo.
card game pocket, you could say, "Hey, is that a Dondozo in your pocket, or are you
That's
just
right.
happy to see me?"
And it's even worse because really Pokemon is Pocket Monster. So it's Pocket Monster Trading Card Game Pocket. So it just gets worse and worse.
We need. Whew.
But anyway, the game came out this year and was a big hit. How big of a hit? As Deux said, it reached $1 billion in revenue in 204 days. That beats Pokemon Company's previous record holder. Looking at you two.
Red and green,
Pokemon
blue,
Pokemon
scarlet.
Red, Blue, and Green.
Pokemon Going, Gone.
Pokemon Go is correct. Yes, Pokemon Go hit $1 billion in 282 days. So this
Wow.
blew that record away.
They're working up towards maybe breaking $1 billion in one day.
I mean,
It'd take a lot more to get to
Pretty
that.
good.
But,
A lot
to
more
put that in perspective,
dollars.
Monopoly Go, clearly named after Pokemon Go, is a huge hit on mobile and is still extremely popular. That game took 218 days to reach 1 billion, so beat that. But the current record holder is unbeaten.
Is the Trump family.
It
with
is
3
Hoyo
billion in 100 days.
Hoyo versus Genshin Impact, which reached $1 billion in 178 days. So Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket came close, but did not take the crown away from Genshin Impact, and will not be able to because it's out and it's done.
Genshin
So Billy,
Go.
somebody who was tied to that franchise was talking about it this
Joe?
week.
Was it Joe?
They were talking. It wasn't Joe.
It was Butte.
Joe Scarborough. I don't remember who it was, but they were talking. Like, they were sharing fond memories of the franchise. It's like, oh, I wish that would come back. Joe Shabadoo
Ho!
has a comment, and they say, not surprised at all. The pack opening animations and sound effects are insidious in their sheer genius. I made sure to never download it for that exact reason. Yeah, it gets you those.
Oh, is that what you unpack? You open up card game
As I explained
packages?
at the start of this story. Yes.
Did you?
Yeah.
He did mention that. I mean, there wasn't much explaining to
That's
say
the
about
explaining.
it,
You
but
open
that's-
up virtual card packs. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you also can play Pokemon.
I
trading
was
card
going to
game.
ask.
I mean, imagine if they were sold trading cards
on
in
to
real
it.
life.
Hold on to
and
it.
how many billions they'd make. Continue.
Well, we did it last week.
Well, so you open these packs, and in real life, if you would open the pack and get like a really valuable card, you could sell it for potentially tons of money. In this case, are people going to be like selling their whole phones if they get like a fancy card? Are they going to be like, well, I can't trade the card with you or give you the app, so I'll sell my phone like it has PT on it. My
Well,
PS4 has PT on it or something.
I mean, it is called Pokemon Trading Card Game, so I think you can trade, and that's not me being an asshole.
Oh,
that
makes
I
sense.
think you are able to trade. I'm unsure. I'm sure there's
Right, but what he's
restrictions on
saying
trading,
is,
but
like,
if-
the people
could
who
you
are
sell your phone?
selling-
Yes, people do
Okay.
that. Like people were selling their PS4s because they had PT on them, and you couldn't buy or you couldn't download PT anymore.
Yes.
I ain't never selling mine. Never ever. That's a crown jewel of mine.
I am
Radical
kicking
Defect says
myself for deleting that.
you cannot trade ultra rare cards yet in Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. So you can trade lesser cards,
How
but
much
not
are
the
people
uber
making
great
on
cards.
PS4s.
Look on eBay right now.
I don't.
Penis
want to.
fours?
10 Division
I don't
says,
think it's all
I
that
believe
much.
people have sold their game accounts. Yes, I'm sure they have. Yes, you could sell your account and log in and all that jazz.
Okay.
Whoopee spot, all that.
Yeah, we know Elon Musk will buy him, right?
10 Division also says Robo, short for robot, plus bot, short for robot. And the Robobot. That's true. It's just double robot split. That's funny. All right, Tony de la Mancha. And Tony says, and it's really limited and costs money, so it takes resources and time. There are cards up to 1 star, there are 2 star, there are 3 star, and crown rarities. It's very odd. Eli says it was funny when people sold their phones with Flappy Bird because they got taken out of stores, and then Flappy Bird came back, but it's just an NFT crypto scam. Eli, I believe just recently Flappy Bird came back again, but without any of the crypto stuff. I believe the pure Flappy Bird experience has returned.
Pure
So
flap.
I loved me some Flappy Bird. I was a big fan of that game.
Just May 27th, 2025, a PS4 with PT demo installed, 500 gigabyte system. sold for $480.
There you
on
go.
eBay.
So it's making money on it.
May 16th,
Mm.
2025. With the PT thing, somebody bought it for
Oh, not
$267.26.
as good. Not as good.
I wonder if the person who bought it for
I
$267 resold it for $480.
Maybe.
I saw a TikTok where somebody bought a 1 out of 5 Star Wars La Creuset like cooking ware
Oh
thing
yeah,
for $10 at an estate sale.
Wow.
And the thing is like price. It's like 1 of 5. You had to like enter a sweepstakes to even purchase
Those
it.
La Creuset things are expensive. MomBrain and I were looking at the Pokemon ones that just came out. Just that company in general is expensive, but those tie-ups, holy crap.
I own, I think, like 3 or 4
Hand me down.
pieces. Yeah, they're from my
Can we sell
grandmother.
them for bang?
No.
they're
No.
Are they
Not
just
like,
pieces?
I
They're
don't want to
pieces
'cause
of
my
like
grandmother.
one
I'm
whole.
saying, could we sell them for bang?
I don't think so.
Nobody would buy them.
I mean, somebody buy them, but I think they.
It's not going to change your life kind of money if
Yeah,
that's what you're
I
talking
don't think
about.
they like appreciate in value. Like,
$5, $5.
I think I have like 3 pots.
Well, we don't have any Pokemon ones. Moving on. As I said, what do we got here? What's the most recent update? Oh yeah, I'll say that. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, Switch 2 got purchased by a few people. They recorded videos of the unboxing and the setup process. Nintendo wasn't happy. Videos got yanked, blah, blah, blah. Kotaku talked to one of the people to get some insight into how they got the Switch 2. And I'll tell you what they told them. It was some guy in Russia. He said he got the hookup via a friend's post through Telegram. So there was somebody on their Telegram group chat that said, hey, there's this guy I know. He's got some Switch 2s. Sorry, I'm getting a spam call. He's got some Switch 2s. They're coming in via plane from Dubai. And this guy was like, this sounds shady, but it's coming from my friend and I trust my friend. So he got in touch with the guy. And the guy was like, yeah, I got Switch 2s. Let's work a little deal here. So they haggled over the price. And the guy was like, okay, $800 you can have a Switch 2. And the guy in Russia was like, deal. So he spent the money. He's like, God, what did I do? What did I get myself into? And he said a couple days later, Switch 2 showed up. So he got a legitimate Switch 2.
God,
The
I was
guy
thinking maybe
in
2
Dubai
Switches.
on the plane that had him, how did he get the Switch 2s? No questions asked. We don't know, but he got
He
them.
has an uncle.
Got an uncle at Nintendo. Yeah, that's
Fell
it.
off the back of a camel.
That's right.
So there was a La Creuset. How do you say it? Le Cousin?
I
La
don't know.
Creuset.
No, Switch 2 is what we're
Han
talking about.
Solo in carbonite version. That's the lid.
What a wild mashup. Like,
And that
of all
sold-
the things in the
Yeah.
world.
And
Sorry.
that sold on eBay for $899.95.
Almost
The
Yeah, but
Darth Vader one.
Does it
which is the
play
one that I-
PT?
a
Jeez.
little bit more than this Switch 2.
but a
cost
La
this guy.
Creuset is expensive anyway. Like,
Yeah.
that's the
It's
thing.
good
It's
quality.
like $400-500 for like a pot.
Yeah, and they're
It
supposed to
cooks
be
a
really
meal
good
like
quality,
no
right?
problem.
Yeah, but
I mean, you could probably make do with a
they're
regular
enameled
pot,
cast iron. Like,
They're very heavy. That's what I can say.
yeah.
but it's French.
This guy was asked if he was worried about Nintendo doing something to a Switch 2, like bricking it because of the situation or getting in touch with him. And he said, quote, he didn't sign any NDAs, end quote. And then he also said, quote, I bought the Switch 2 with my money and didn't steal it, end quote. So, I mean, he's right on both of those. So it is what it is.
You're looking at the price? Yeah.
But there you go. Okay. I know I very, very, very rarely do this, but the next story is an interesting one, but it has a serious note. And I want to have a serious discussion with you guys because I have a conundrum and I want to bring it up with you guys. I'm being honest right now.
I know you are,
Okay.
but what do you think we are? Just some ham?
No, I didn't want
jokers.
No. I didn't want you to like accidentally like
I'm out.
parlay whatever the Star Wars things into a joke and then be like, oh, I shouldn't have said that or whatever. I just wanted to give you a heads up.
No more jokes.
No,
For
you
this.
can joke. I'm just letting you know before you get into it.
Okay.
What rules, you sons of bitches?
Okay, so here's the story. Years ago, before the Legend of Zelda live action movie was announced, there were rumblings of there being a live action Zelda movie. There's been talk of a live action Zelda movie for decades, and people have done fan casting and all that stuff. But the rumors really heated up a few years ago. And people were talking about who they wanted to be roles, picking like what actor should be who, whatever. And when it came to Zelda, a lot of people suggested Hunter Schafer. Hunter Schafer from Euphoria or Hunger Games spinoff and something else.
Was she in
Cuckoo.
Young and the Restless?
What?
Oh, is that?
No.
The Old and the Restful.
I'm looking her up.
So, we've actually talked about Hunter Schafer a few times on the site over the years because of this story. Because Schafer, the discussion of her being Zelda in the Zelda movie years ago
she'd be a great Zelda.
got so big that it was brought up to her on a red carpet for some event, and she said, quote, "That would be so cool. I love the game personally. I played it as a kid and I still play it now. Who knows? That would be pretty cool." End quote. So
did she get trashed for assuming there's only one Zelda game?
No trash. I'll get into it, and
I'm sure there's worse things that she's gotten.
Oh, yeah, by far. Also, we talked about her again in 2024 because she was part of a Vogue photo shoot where she was playing the Switch. They never explained why she had a Switch. They didn't explain why it was important to be part of the photo shoot. The interview had nothing to do with Nintendo, but it had the Switch in it. So we posted about that. Now, again, all these years later, we know a Legend of Zelda live action movie is happening. We don't know who's going to be the roles. We would imagine that at the very least, Link and Zelda will be in it. Probably Ganon, but we don't know that for sure. But people are guessing people are picking who they want to be the roles. Once again, Hunter Schafer has been a name that comes up a lot because people think she'd make a great Zelda. There's this guy, Daniel Richtman, who is an insider with Hollywood stuff. He has gotten things spot on. He's gotten things incorrect. So spotty track record, but he has gotten legitimate information before. He came out to say that the powers that be in Hollywood are looking into, or at very least considering, Hunter Schafer as Zelda in the live action Legend of Zelda movie. So we've gone from fans casting it to rumblings and rumors of it actually being something that could happen. So I posted about that, marked it very clearly a rumor. Now, I knew, and I've always known, that every time I post about Hunter Schafer, it's going to be a shovel fest because Hunter Schafer is trans. And with the way the internet is now and the way the world is at large, there are a lot of people who don't like trans people and they say not nice things about trans people. MomBrain is ready to pounce. Maintain your composure. We can talk about this seriously and with a level head. I know it's very important to you. It's important to me too. We know these people. These people are in our lives. And most importantly, they are people. Just don't fly off the handle. Can you do that? She's gone. MomBrain's gone.
I will try my best.
So I knew when I posted this story, it was going to be a real shovel fest. But anyway, yes, as expected, the internet has been either very supportive or very horrible. So that's the story. But here's the thing I want to bring up with you guys. I knew the discussion would always be horrible everywhere. There is a comment that we got on the site. I'm not going to read the person's name, but both of you went to your phones right away.
Well, that also, I guess, explains why there's like you usually have like 1 or 2 comments on top stories, and this one had 14. So
I saw the comment earlier. I'm getting messages from my spiders and flies right now.
So there was a comment, and it got reported to me by multiple people or multiple readers, because you can report a comment if you feel it breaks terms of service or whatever. I will read you the comment. I'm not trying to put this person on blast, but I need to read their comment because I want to have a discussion about it. Their comment is crazy, but I'd prefer Zelda to be played by an actual woman. Nintendo would have a possible PR issue on its hands. That is the comment. People have reported. Hold on.
I just, before we carry on, I would like to just take a moment to acknowledge that I will not be participating in this conversation because I do not want to give any attention and any of my energy to that kind of comment.
But I need you to, and you're one of the ones I'm most looking forward to. If I say things and you are still uncomfortable commenting, then that's fine. You can say that.
Just don't. We're feeding that and talking about it, and I don't think it.
Yes, but it's an open conversation because it's important, and I really would like your opinion on this the most. So
it's also the most upvoted comment before we even discussed it.
Yes.
You know,
Right,
like
so it's
That is
already
also true.
gotten plenty of attention.
Yes, but will you hear me
Yeah.
out, please? You know I'm on the good side of things
I
here.
know. I'm not.
I
Saying
just
you're
need you
wrong.
to. I know. I just need you to hear me
Okay.
because your input on this is very valued.
Mhm.
So me, as the site owner, have the final decision on whether this comment is allowed or not. Now, you know personally, I hate this comment, and I do not use the word hate often. I hate this comment. It goes against everything I stand for. I do not believe this comment. I do not support this comment. But as someone who's running a platform, I also believe in free speech. My question is, or my conundrum or struggle is this far enough into hate speech territory
yes,
Mhm.
that I get rid of it?
Yes.
yes.
Because personally, I would say yes.
Yes.
But I didn't want to just pull the trigger and yank the comment.
So
So I wanted to bounce it off other people. And I figured because this garbage is put out there, the other side should be talked about on the show because we are all obviously at this table on the other side of things. But I didn't want to be like, I don't believe this, so your comment's going away. I wanted to talk about it.
So look, free speech, fine. But that doesn't mean that you have the right to speak in hateful ways with impunity.
And it also doesn't mean you're not free from repercussions.
Correct. Right. So I think
The tone of the comment.
yep.
Yes,
It's not.
That's
it's-
what.
They're
Yeah,
not
that's
saying
the
I
issue.
believe that this person's not a woman. They're
Yeah.
they're misgendering them on purpose,
Yes.
and it's cruel, and it's I don't know. It's disheartening, and the fact that it's the most upvoted comment is even worse.
Yes.
And I think it is the responsibility of those people who have the power and the privilege to use it in a way that protects those people who don't.
Okay. Listen, I just wanted to talk to you guys about it and get perspectives before I made that move and all that. Tony just said it. As the owner of the website, you also have free speech to allow that to be published on your website. Yeah, exactly. Hate speech is free, but it's your website. Yeah, again, I know, the buck stops with me. I can make whatever decision I want, and I don't have to explain it to everybody. I just don't want to be that kind of person.
I also understand your perspective of the argument could be made like, where is the line?
Yeah.
When do you right? But I just think when it comes to anything even remotely close to hate speech, it's not something I want tied to what we do, like here at this table. Even like, I'm not saying that any of us are working on the site, but we're here at the podcast, and I don't want our names attached to that.
It's just clear. I mean, it's just clear reading it. The tone of it, like I can't stress enough how you just read it and you immediately get the tone of hate.
It's like a backhanded comment too,
Yes.
because it's like, oh, Nintendo's going to have a PR problem. It's like they're only going to have a problem for people who can't
who have a problem.
who have a
for
problem.
people who make
That's-
comments
yeah.
like that.
It's not a PR problem. It's a
People problem.
Yeah.
Again, just to be clear,
Like, oh, you're making this comment, trying to help Nintendo be like, oh, better thing. But it's like,
Mhm.
no, like
Yeah.
if they're gonna make their choice, they're gonna make their choice, and that's up to you to accept it.
Just to be clear, my personal opinion was I was disgusted by this comment, but I don't want to. I want people in my life that I value to be able to talk to about this before I made any. I don't even want to say rash decisions, but before I was just like, it's me and I'm the only one, and that's it. Like, I feel like this is important stuff to get at least some discussion going about, so that's why I did it. And as of right now,
Yeah,
the
just
comment has
like
been
it's
removed.
got everything that it's got the sarcasm, like crazy, but
Yeah.
like call me crazy, but I want to actual woman. Like it's like what a horrible sentence to even take the time to write that.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. It's insane.
I agree, and I also would love to, in my lifetime, see us evolve to a place where that's not a qualifier for anyone, unless that's something that a person feels important to identify, right? Like, she's a trans woman, like that has nothing to do with anything, right? Like, why do we have to like make that part of her identity if that's not really right? She's an actress or actor or whatever, you know, she wants to be called.
Is she an elf as well? Because I mean, if she's not an elf, she can't play.
Well, I
Zelda.
can't confirm or deny that she's an elf. I don't
There
know.
you
for
go.
sure.
There you go.
I do not know.
I mean, that's kind of stuff drives me crazy. And I personally think she's perfect for the role.
I mean, she looks a lot like
I
Zelda.
Googled her, and the first picture was her looking like Zelda. Like,
Okay, just wanted to talk about that and let you know. So there's
But
that.
it's a I don't know. You know, I don't know if they would ever cast her. I would hope that they wouldn't let that hold them back. But I bet you for something like that, you know, because they want it to be as big as the Mario movie, I'm sure they would be like, we're going to get too much hatred if we cast a trans woman, so we're not going to do it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is just strictly rumor, you know, like if they're not really going to consider her.
Well, again, the source is someone who gets inside information right on Hollywood stuff and all that. But yeah, I don't know. You know, I would imagine, you know, Hunter's been in a whole bunch of stuff, but I would imagine every time anyone casts her in something, unfortunately, there are people at the table who are going to bring that conversation up. It's unfortunate that they have to bring it up, but it is something that's going to be brought up because they're going to be like, this is going to be a thing. Like, we're going to have to navigate this situation because this is going to happen. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying. We'll see what happens, though. Thank you for your input. That was very much valued. And now we can get back to stupid stuff. MomBrain, it's time for the North American Suite releases.
Ooh.
Where are you trying to go?
That
website's not allowed.
I mean, it was Glisten.
Rule 34.
So it was
Rule 34. Yes. Hit my music.
Yo, with AI, Rule 34 has got to be popping off, right?
I mean, it was popping off beforehand, but now with Rule 34, yeah. Thanks, MomBrain. Here's what came out in North America this year. Another World Series, not baseball. This has nothing to do with baseball. Another World Series. Slit Mouth Woman versus Auni.
What is going on here? This is like last week's.
And that's all one name. Another World Series. Slit Mouth Woman versus Auni.
Get away from my Auni with that slit mouth.
Arcade Archives, Ryukyu, Bubble Trouble Adventures, Bunny Cubed, Deep Under, Call of Glory, Critical Warfare, Cypher,
Call of Glory,
Cypher Monk, Coral and the Abyss. This is a great title. Dad's Coming. There it is again. We talked about that last week.
Dad's Coming.
Deep Under, Escape Game Room 04.
Deep
Escape
Undies.
Game The Empty School. Fuga, Melodies of Steel 3. By the way, Fuga, however you say it, probably Fuga. Fuga, yeah, because it's music related. Fuga. The series has hit 500,000 units sold. Congratulations to CyberConnect 2, who thanked the furries for supporting their franchise, because it's not about furries, but it's, you know.
This is the third.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's animal characters that have human traits. What do you call that? Anthropomorphic?
Yeah.
And I hear all three games are excellent. That's honest, genuine comment. Ghost Frequency. Hill Climb on a motorcycle. Nicky Hill Climb. Jam Jam. Lunara Planet 9. Maniac. My Side Reality. How about Me Side Undies? Mystery Lover 2 Forgotten Truth.
Ooh.
Narcissus. Nice Day for Fishing. Penguin Flight Beyond the Clouds. Pinball Spire. Rally Arcade Classics. Ramen Road to Mastery.
Oh, yeah.
Remnants of the Rift. Report Horror Hall. Shikondo Yukai Rampage. Spin Around. Stafford Case, a supernatural mystery adventure. Submersed 2, The Hive. Super Ration or Super Ration. Theater Unrest. The Jeremiah Detective Agency. Two Strikes. Basilissa and Baba Yaga.
Ooh, we love Baba Yaga.
Welcome to Imperium. Werewolf Hunter Survive the Howl. Wilmot Works It Out. And finally, Wizard's Fortress Tower Defense. Sticer says, starting next week, we'll need a new title for these posts. Switch 1 and 2 eShop releases.
Oh, God.
End of an era. You are correct, my friend. I didn't even think about
Just
that.
call it Nintendo eShop, probably, right?
That's probably it. The boring route is the way to go. I agree. eShop releases. European
What are
eShop
the next
releases.
European
Or
masterpieces?
are there going to be
Let's
releases
find out with
specifically
Nicky.
to Switch and Switch? Like,
Yeah, there will be, but it's all on the eShop.
Releases.
okay. All right, Europe. We've made it to the end of May, the beginning of June. We got there. Also, we've got
We
there.
haven't got there yet.
We're
It's the last day of May.
A lot of police out there trying to hit their quotas. End of the month.
There were a lot of police out. Yeah, why am I thinking we saw something police related? That was funny.
Reno
I can't remember.
911.
Sorry, this you're go. That's
No,
it.
not
Naked
that.
Gun.
New. I saw somebody new boot goofing. Go ahead, Nicky.
Genuine ostrich.
Oh,
3
I,
penguins.
sorry, trying to close this ad.
What's in
May.
your bag?
29th, year of our Lord 2025 in Europe. Let's get through this list. It's probably long. Look at this. Pull up a pillow.
Speak the names.
Pull up a pillow.
Advanced VG Saturn Tribute.
That's a shmup.
Mr. Saturn?
No, unfortunately.
Anime Dance Off Las Vegas.
Oh, man.
Another World Series. Like My Sharuba?
No, not
No.
that either.
Slit Mouth Woman and a uni.
My money's on Slip Mouth Woman.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll take a uni.
Call of Glory Critical Warfare.
God, that's
Casual
great.
Sport Series Badminton.
now see, I love badminton. You play that with motion controls. If you could, I might be interested.
Now,
Where's
are
our
some of
Target
these- are
Toss
some of
Pro
these-
bags?
Some of these are switched too then at this point, right? Because
play badminton.
All of them are.
Mouse
Okay,
controls.
because Europe talks about does their releases a week in advance, right? Like starting May 29th, continuing.
This does not
forward.
have like Switch 2 exclusive titles on it.
Right, not yet though. Okay. I don't know where I was here.
Badminton.
Oh, cats visiting fairy tales.
Fairy tales.
Meow.
Cattle country. Collie call.
Golly.
Ducks can drive.
Holy
Escape game room 0404. Escape game The Empty School. Doesn't sound like it's that hard
We're
if
about
everybody's
we're about to have that. I mean,
everybody got
June.
out. Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh.
Photo
Photo?
Boy, Flash Star, Fuga, Melodies of Steel 3,
Toilet.
Geno Panic, Ghost Frequency, Island Survival, Craft, Build, Grow, and Zombie Harvest, Survival, Farming Simulator Bundle Collection.
Rolls right
Can't
off the
just
tongue.
go with bundle. It's got to be bundle collection.
Right. Korean Drone Flying Tour Bukan River.
I've been
Bukane.
waiting for the Bukan River version to come out. We've
thought it
got,
We
came
knew
out
it was
last
coming.
week.
We
we've
knew it
got
was
the
coming.
other
but-
cities, but
Lush Grove, Lyra and the Echo of the Abyss. Is that Lyra?
Lyra, I would say.
Lyra. Mini Madness. Mini Madness. Monster Train Collection.
Oh, that's scary and exciting, RMC, huh?
I'm sorry. I was so focused on the first word in this next title.
Mudness. Mudness Off-Road Car Simulator
I
Runner.
kind of want to like play it.
I
Like I
know.
would love to play it just because it's called
a car
Mudness.
simulator runner.
I was driving around in the rain. Sorry, I got some mudness.
Have
Uh,
some mudness carpet.
Yeah. Here, take those boots off. We got some mudness.
My Side
Can you stimulate my
Reality.
car runner?
Mystery Lover 2 Forgotten Truth. Nice Day for Fishing. Old Skies. Onimusha 1 and 2 pack. Onimusha 2 by itself, I guess. Samurai's
Yeah.
Destiny.
Oh, so okay.
Penguin Flight Beyond the Clouds. Pinball
I
Spire.
want to look into that.
Oh, I think somebody might be talking about this later.
Oh, he knows me
Pipistrello
well.
and the Cursed
He
Yo-Yo.
knows me well.
Only because somebody else commented about
Oh, he knows me because somebody else knows
I don't
me
know
well.
you at all. Pirate Anime Quest, One Boy's Journey, A Piece of Island Love.
If you want games
Strange.
that are clear ripoffs of the artwork and stylings of One Piece, then this is your game. And it also has Piece in the title.
Oh. A piece.
Island Love. Pixel Cross Stitch Color by Numbers Season Collection. I don't know where to put the emphasis when I read these things. 'cause
No, there's
so
no
many
punctuation, so
words.
just word after word.
Oh, here I
Now
know.
this, yeah.
This one-
Please touch the artwork too.
There you go.
As in to say, don't touch me, touch the artwork.
That's right.
The number 2. It must be a sequel.
Why can't all these activists just get that game and then they don't have to go to the Louvre and mess up the Mona Lisa? Am
the
I
first
right?
one was award winning as well. So this is maybe this second will also win.
This
some
one will
awards.
be award losing.
Well, every award winner is also an award loser. So.
Ramen, Road to Mastery. Remnants of the Rift. Road to Olympus. I wonder if that's the same Road to Mastery. Who knows? We're going to have to play both of them to find out. Raleigh
He
Rails.
sounds excited.
Shikhondo Yukai Rampage.
I've been waiting for another Rampage game.
Wow,
So-
that's really funny because I was hurting for a subtitle for that one, so I made a Rampage joke in the original post about it.
Yes.
I was like, "There's no Lizzie or whatever in this game." Or something.
Lizzie or George or
George.
I forget what the wolf's name was.
Yeah, I had to
Yukai
look up the names
George
too because all I could
something.
remember.
Oh,
was
maybe it's
Lizzie.
UK after the Rampage.
No,
you go
it's
around.
Yukai. Ghost.
You go around and say, "Hey, UK, you okay? You okay?" No. Soccer golf. Spin around. Staffer case. Supernatural mystery adventure. Starlight Legacy. Steam Hearts Saturn Tribute.
Another shmup.
Submersed 2. The Hive. Superation.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just
We
superated
don't
right here
know
at the
who that
table.
was. We don't know.
There's
Oh,
no way.
telling.
There's no
To
way
tell.
of knowing.
Theater
There's no way.
Unrest. The only way to find out who just made that sound, if anyone heard it, is by hiring Jerry Maya from his Jerry Maya Detective Agency. The Jerry Maya Detective Agency out now in Europe, or maybe this week. Two Strikes, Welcome to Imperium, and Werewolf Hunter, Survive the Howl. Wait a minute, werewolves, how do you kill them?
Steister, you were on top of this. Steister's got a comment.
Steister says, not a top story, but definitely top tier reading from the incomparable Nicky Hill.
We
Is
fixed it.
Incomparable or
Incomparable.
incomparable?
No, it's incomparable.
It's whatever you want. It's the superlative you've been given.
Thank
So
you.
MomBrain,
yeah,
what have you been playing?
a little Hello Kitty, but that's it.
Oh, you
Is
experienced that
Hello
new
Kitty
update?
meow?
Yeah.
Huh?
Hello Kitty never meows, right? Because Hello Kitty's not
Hello
a kitty.
Kitty is a girl. Thank you, not a cat.
No.
Hella kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Hell.
Tell me about the new update. Let's hear.
I didn't
Sinfield.
play much, so I haven't.
didn't play
I like that you can call your friends to come get you, to come to you instead of you having to find them and saying, "Hey, come follow me," which is
Oh, yeah.
nice. But I haven't really put a lot of time in, so I can't really speak to the update.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Nicky Hill.
I played a little Tetris Effect Connected. I went on today to play, thinking there was like a weekend event, and it didn't load. I don't know if my Switch is reacting to the internet properly or something. But yeah, it wasn't there. But I also started playing something. It's kind of weird. Did you see me playing this? I downloaded and started playing. I want to get it right. Burnout Paradise Remastered.
Wow. Out of nowhere?
Yeah. I went on the eShop.
Is that the game with Crash in it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Eat my
fun.
So,
Crash.
but it's not the one. So we played Burnout a long time ago, and that was like the first one that was on the internet. Then Paradise came out, and it's basically a map, like a city, and you pull up to traffic lights, and then you join races that way.
Oh,
So it's a little different. The funny thing is I'm not sure the server is live anymore for people to play online. I think I'm logged in, but it also says like servers unavailable or something.
I don't know,
So
I'd have to look.
I'm just kind of playing it off the game.
Is it like open world until you find a
Pretty much,
race kind
yeah.
of thing?
Yeah.
And then like while you're driving in the open world, like somebody in like a souped up car, like another souped up car's cruising around, and if you take that one down, then it gets added to your inventory. But they also have like motorcycles and toy cars, so it's like
Ooh.
from the front it looks like the regular version of the car, but if you look at it from the side, it's like a little tiny like
Yeah.
truncated version, and then when you drive when you're at top speed, it just is like
Icedilbert, me and you both. Yeah, I miss old Burnout. Icedilbert says I really like the old Burnout where it did all the slow-mo crashing and tried to make the most damage money. We played that so
I really
much.
enjoyed
I thought that was the gameplay. That's not what it's like
not
anymore.
in this one because
Bummer.
They ruined Burnout, in my opinion.
but it's still fun. Like I've still been enjoying it. Also,
Yeah, I remember
people on the roads are ridiculous anymore these days. Like the just crazy.
In the game or real life?
In real life, people have been crazy, just cutting people. Like I've seen so many erratic drivers, and I'm always doing the right thing, slowing down, stopping, turning out,
Just waving my gun at them instead of shooting.
getting out of the way.
So you got Burnout Paradise to
Just let it all out.
let it
yeah.
loose.
Yeah.
Practice at home and then take it into the real world.
Yeah.
These people are going to eat some crashes.
Yeah.
That was right though. We played a bunch of it, and when
That was
you
when we met Big
when
Earl
you hit
or
in
Big Earn.
Big
Earl?
Earn,
Big earn.
and then when you crash in slow motion, then you could still control it and try to hit things, right?
And
That
if you
was
got like
awesome.
another explosion, like if you hit certain dollar amounts, it'd give you a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
The
That
point
was a
was
lot
to
of
like
fun.
cause
It
as
was.
much damage as
Yes,
possible
it
in
was
those
so
moments.
much fun. I still have that downstairs.
That was really fun. But like this one,
I wonder
it's
if it would still hold up.
I'm sure it would. I don't see why it wouldn't.
it's fun. Like the driving, I don't even have like fast cars right now. I mean they're fast, but like relatively speaking, and my television is so far from me when I'm sitting down, so it's like hard to see what's coming up because you're moving so fast. But also my sweet puppy dog doesn't like it. She doesn't like the sounds and stuff. She wants nothing to do with it.
Aw.
So I'm not going to play it too much, but
Play with headphones.
I'm going to have to sit right next to the television for that.
Might
You can
help
do
your
Bluetooth.
play. You might play better.
We'll
You don't have Bluetooth headphones?
No, man, I'm not aging as gracefully as you and keeping up with the times.
I don't have them either, but I don't like wireless
you don't have
headphones.
them either, okay.
I hate wireless headphones.
There's like
They
a
drive me
delay
nuts.
on
I don't
some
want
of them.
something. Yeah. Well, with just audio listening, you're fine. But I don't want to have to charge. Like I just plug in a wire and it works. I'm
Yeah.
fine.
But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that'll change with the Switch 2, right? Because I can just plug into my controller if I have one.
That is
so-
correct.
But that
It's all right. You could just pick it up on Switch 2 next week and plug in your headphone and you're good.
yeah,
to go.
because I went on the eShop and I was looking for excuse me, the Mummy Demastered or whatever it was called,
Mm,
and
that's exactly what it was called.
You didn't find it?
I had to look for it.
Did you type the name?
Yeah, No.
MUMMY,
No,
not
so, like,
MOMMIE.
It was still on sale this week.
yeah.
right?
Well, see, the thing was I went into Great Deals and I was scrolling down and I hit the bottom and I was like, oh, where is this?
Just search the name.
Which is
of the
funny because I
game.
don't think I hit the bottom. It just stopped loading. So I think maybe I'm not connected to something. I don't know.
You gotta stop. and
You
let
had
it
to explain
load.
why you didn't search.
No, I
the
did
name.
load. I let it load. I let it sit there. Like nothing was like, what? What are you going to tell me?
No, I said you have to explain why you didn't search the name.
I did. That's how I found it. But originally I was like, because I like to look through the
Oh,
great deals
okay,
and see
okay, I
what's there.
gotcha.
Because guess what was there? Burnout Paradise
It
Remastered.
worked. That great deal.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a great deal.
And it was
Did
a great
you-
deal because I had gold coins are a thing of the past now, right?
Yes.
And I had some gold coins left and I used them. I paid $2, I think, $2 and
Not
change
bad.
to burn out.
That
Here's
is a
your
deal.
$2.
Yeah. So what have you been playing, dude?
Did you end up
I'm
buying the
moving
Mummy?
on. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
That would
Cool.
be really funny if Burnout stopped him. And
Yeah.
allowed
Yeah.
us to-
Money.
Uku. I played as usual Animal Crossing, New Horizons. nothing new that I could think of in there. Played Fortnite, and we've been having a devilishly good time over there. The Star Destroyer is in the new update, so if you get to the Star Destroyer portal first, then your entire team gets to like do this like top-down bombardment screen where you're like floating over the map, and you can just move your cursor and unload, and it's so powerful, and it marks the enemies for you, and it's really great. You get it for about a minute and a half, and then it kicks you back out into the game. There's no way to get killed as far as we know while you're in there, so you're like invincible. And the sound effects, that sound effect you were doing, holy cow, it's like one of the best. Like, it's one of the best. That sound, the sound of like the imploding grenades, and
Yes.
and then there's a couple other, like all the Star Wars
TIE
sound
fighters
effects are just,
screaming
I
through the
mean, they're
sky.
just so great. I don't know why those sounds are so good. I mean, half of it's nostalgia, but half of it's like, I should be scared of these sounds because they're like freaky, but they all are so satisfying.
TIE fighter, that's for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, we've been having fun doing that, I would say. You'd say?
Yeah, no, I really like that. I did one of those Star Destroyer things with my cousins, and we took out like 28 people or something. Like, it was an insane. Like, you get the little red arrows that they just kept popping up, and it was like they were all in the woods or the forest, so there was like no buildings for people to hide in, no like bunkers or anything, and we were just destroying it was insane.
That's great.
Insane. We like, there were a couple red arrows to start, and then as you keep going forward, they just kept popping up, and then like a batch of like, I want to say like 8 or 9 of them popped up, and we just started laughing because we're like, these poor people.
Yeah,
there's so many.
If you're underneath it, I mean, you got to get real lucky to get away. Because I had 6 shockwave grenades, and I used every single one of them, and I had a lightsaber, and I couldn't get away from it. And yeah, it was like crazy to be on the other side of it, because when you're up there, you're like, this is great.
Yeah.
And you could see where they all are, and you're just like,
as soon as I
out.
hear it like come in, I look immediately to see which way it's facing and where it's going, because I'm like, I got to run the complete opposite direction.
That's the only thing you can do. You got to get out of there. But it's really great, and been really enjoying it. Looking forward to the Death Star end of season run that they're gonna do
this coming Saturday. 2 p.m.
I'm excited for that.
There's not a new season starting tomorrow?
This coming Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, one more week, I think.
But today is the end of the month.
Coming Saturday.
It usually ends.
I think it ends on the 7th or something.
It's usually around
this coming Saturday.
Oh, well,
if you would have just told me.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I've really been liking this season just because of the Star Wars stuff is so fun. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to the Death Star ending, because I feel like it's been a while since.
That's right, Drake.
We've had a real good like end of season event. I mean, I'll never forget the one they did for the Iron Man season, or that first Marvel season. That was so
really cool.
Amazing.
Yeah. This one's got some serious potential.
Yeah, it's
serious.
Sounds like it's going to be great. So I'm glad that they're finally doing that.
10 Division says, you've heard of No Nut November. Get ready for coming Saturday. Well, you know what? No Nut November was the whole month. I'm going to fix that in one Saturday. But anyway.
Yeah, but that's all I have to say about Fortnite. Still fun, right? Right. And then last but not least, I've beaten the Mummy Demastered.
Hey, he did it. He persevered. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It wasn't as challenging as I was making it out to be last week. There was an item that I needed to get. It's a little late game item, but it's not exactly a double jump, but it's just as good for snooping around.
I think I saw something in the trailer that looked like it was like a double jump style thing, and I didn't say it to you, but glad you found it.
Yeah, and it had to be there because there were so many places I couldn't reach that it was just like, there has to be something. So it's cool. I kind of thought even though it came a little late in the game, I kind of liked that it wasn't a double jump. It was something else. It was like had a little flair to it, and it's kind of like a midair dash. And
I did appreciate that it was like
It's like what?
It's like a little
neat
different.
little take on the idea.
Is
Yeah.
it like Prince of Persia, the Crown Prince?
I don't remember.
You had a dash.
Like, I know you had a double jump in that. I thought you did.
I don't remember.
But yeah, I mean, it's basically you jump and then you can dash any direction you want in midair, and it like kind of helps you. So that was cool. I appreciated the game because it's not huge. No. It's kind of, I don't want to say bite size, but it took me about like 6 hours, maybe 7 hours tops. And like, I thought that was great. Like, cause there's a lot of these games that even though they're fun, you could play them for a longer time. And it's not that they're bad or that it gets worn out, but I don't know. There was something about the bite size nature of it that I really appreciated. And it was like solid the whole way through. And yeah, I would say I really, really enjoyed it. I was a little bummed out with the ending, but it's not like I was expecting too much from the story or anything. And yeah, and that's about it. But like, it was I would say just the perfect kind of time and everything. And as always, as always, I thought I did so much in the game, like there's a percentage in games like that shows you how much you've done or whatever. And like, I went to every room I could find. I've scoured the entire map to make sure that there were no like openings that I missed or anything like that. And, I went underwater. I went where you could jump high and all this stuff. And I was like, time to beat the boss, because I'm probably 90% done.
I've seen it all.
Yeah, I looked and it was like 65% or something. And I've got like 18 of the 30, maybe even more than like 22 of the 30 like collectibles you can get or something. And I was like, how am I still so like, there's so much that I haven't found, and I'm not disciplined enough like you to like, if I really like something, to be like, I'm gonna find it all. I was just like, you know what, good for somebody that's gonna put a YouTube video up. But like, I
remember when I got to the end, I want to say I was somewhere in the same ballpark, like low 70s, and I was like, I really like this game, but I'm good. Like, I'm not gonna go hunt down all those things. But
so I would say if it's still on sale, definitely get it. If it's not on sale, $20, it was worth it. But it is, it's a quick experience, and I enjoyed it very much.
Well, you know what I'm going to say now? You broke your.
Oh, now I got to play
the ice
Shantae
with a way forward Metroidvania. Now take that same kind of experience and just play Shantae, because they're exactly the same kind of game. Just one is about the mummy and one is about Shantae. Same.
Are there any Shantaes on?
One is about the mummy
consoles?
and one is about them.
Yeah, all of them.
Me.
Every single one of them.
I thought they were only handheld.
Nope. Every single one of them. Start with the most recent one.
Mommy.
I love you're so intriguing to me.
I just played one where I got to jump right into a new one. We got the Switch 2 right down the corner.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's very. You do this and it's very intriguing to me, because you're like, I finally did this thing. I've been trying to do it. I gave it a shot. I liked it. It was really good. It was very enjoyable. And then I'm like, well, here's more of it. And you're like, no.
Well, in my defense, I don't remember which one, but there is a Shantae game that I played a good 5-10 minutes of and didn't care for. So
I also don't remember what one that was.
But that just reinforces your point, because I played 5 or 10 minutes of the Mummy Demastered twice before, and it didn't click, and this time it did. So
yeah, I'm not like,
which is funny because they're Metroidvania, so you're not going to be able to do much at first. And you have to play it.
You're exactly right.
Which is
I think that's probably another thing that stopped me, is I was thinking that Shantae was more of like a Metal Slug or a Contra, where it's like stages and you play through. and I didn't give it enough time to really find out that it was Metroidvania.
There
So-
are some that are more like that, but they're still Metroidvania-esque. Like the most recent one, Shantae and the Seven Sirens, is more like that. You go,
One of those sirens.
oh, okay. I didn't know what he was doing at first.
I still don't.
Sirens, like an ambulance or a police siren. Yeah, that first one, I didn't know what it was. Yeah,
The first one,
the
though.
first one was
The
something.
first one,
Yeah.
the first one is that kid on the bike.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Yes.
The way he holds it and it
Yes,
like pops
you're right.
out of his
Yes.
mouth.
See, with that explanation, yes, that was spot on. But when I say siren and you go to that, I didn't know what was happening.
Wow.
But the most recent one, Shantae and the Seven Sirens, that is more linear than Metroidvania, but every dungeon you go into is a mini
that what it sounds
Metroidvania.
like?
Do you have a favorite? Maybe I'll start with your favorite.
You got to go into the Discord.
Oh.
Going into the Discord.
There's a
Oh,
whole
look at
lot of
that.
nothing going on. Oh, that's not it.
Oh,
No, you'll know what it is when you
All
see
the
it.
whistles go. Bub Rub and Lil Sis were eager to show it off.
Let me look at the list of all the Shantae games. Now, you really want to know my favorite. That's what you're asking.
Well, as far as like what should I play? Because I don't know. I'm sure they're all good because you say they are. But like, for instance, I wouldn't want to play the Seven Sirens over, say, a more traditional Metroidvania one. So I guess out of the more Metroidvania ones, which do you think is the best? Because that's where I would probably want to start. But you know, you'd know better than me.
I haven't completed a Shantae game since 2017. Is that true?
What
That's
happened?
You're supposed to be up cooking breakfast for somebody, so it's like an alarm clock. Whoa!
So I'd probably go with Pirate's Curse. If you're looking for a traditional Metroidvania, I go with Shantae and the Pirate's
And I can
Curse.
go into the Switch eShop, which is definitely what it's called, and I can download.
It's definitely
It
it's the
is?
Nintendo eShop,
Okay,
but
that was
Switch
close.
eShop is fine.
I mean, it's only taken what 8 years, and I've
Well,
still not
and
gotten
the
it
good
right.
thing is
There's
it's
a
still
new-
the same thing on the Switch too. So now that you've learned it, you can start Switch 2 in the right spot. Yeah, it's on.
But
It's
I
on
can
Switch.
I can buy just that game on the Switch and play it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, wow, this is definitely made for consoles, not for a small screen handheld.
I don't know
game.
why.
Currently,
This is so
wait,
opposite
wait.
of what actually happened. Like, there's more console Shantaes than portable Shantaes.
Pirate's Curse is
I didn't know that.
$20.
Yeah.
Shantae, I guess that's the original Shantae.
Yes, Shantae is the original
Re-released in
Shantae.
2021.
Yes.
It's $9.99.
Now, see,
Half Genie Heroes $29.99. Risky's Revenge, the director's cut, is $9.99.
That might have been the one I played. Risky's Revenge. That makes sense.
Seven Sirens is $29.99, and did I say the Pirate's Curse is $19.99?
yeah, I would go with Pirate's Curse for Metroidvania. It's just because it's the most well-rounded of them, I would say. My personal favorite of the Metroidvania flat-out style is the original, or Risky's Revenge.
But the original didn't teach you the dances. You had to like. fumble
Yes,
to
but
learn.
I'm the kind of guy who likes that, so I would not recommend that to him. Although they re-released it with quality of life improvements and a map and all that stuff. Like the original Shantae was a Metroidvania without a map, and like he's saying, you had
Quality
to
of death.
learn the dance moves and then perform the dance moves to transform into animals. So like you had to do the button presses every time, and I liked doing all that stuff because you had to remember it, and I liked the map not having, or the game not having a map, because I liked having to remember. But they've since changed that. But still, Pirate's Curse is the one I would go with for you.
Thank you.
I remember.
Man, Seven Sirens was 2020.
And Pirate's Curse was still pixel art as well, because Half Genie
2018.
Hero they went to hand drawn.
Half Genie Hero was Kickstarter. That's where I got that one, I think.
Yes, you're right, because it was the hand drawn one. They did that. It's
Hold on.
Kickstarter. Yes, all this is correct.
Holy
Um,
smokes.
Yeah, I think Way Forward is an excellent company, and I do not think they get the credit they deserve for the games that they make. River City Girls, they amazing beat 'em up franchise. They did a great job of both of those. What else we got here? They published Lunark. They didn't make Lunark, but they published Lunark, and that's an excellent. Did you play Lunark? I'm sorry.
Me? No.
Yeah. Lunark. So Lunark is made in the style of Another World or Flashback, like my favorite.
Sounds great.
But
I
was
would
gonna
love
say,
to.
but with quality of life improvements. And stuff like
Lunark.
that.
Maybe.
Lunark? That is a cinematic platform.
I'm thinking of
Yeah.
Somerville.
I thought Lunark was a
Cocoon or Somerville.
a
no?
novel, a visual novel.
No,
Why do I?
Lunark, cinematic platformer. Excellent,
Ooh.
excellent. The guy that made it even did rotoscoped cutscenes. Like he recorded himself doing whatever for the cutscenes, like picking stuff up and jumping out through a window. And like, I love that he went that far because he wanted that look. He wanted that classic look.
Do you have to like that style of game?
I would suggest you need to like cinematic platformers. Yes, it's more forgiving than any cinematic platformer. It's much more modern standards, but I'd say still you need a base level
What if
like of cinematic
Mario
platform.
was a cinematic platformer? So you could have all the cinematic parts, but the jumping would be great. Wouldn't that be awesome?
No, because I don't play Mario games for story or puzzles. Like I play them for platforming.
Okay.
Like if a Mario was a platformer and I played like a cinematic platformer, I'd be like, what the hell has Nintendo done here? This is terrible. Like a
He said
cinematic
it. He said
platformer
it.
is
He
an
admits it.
adventure with a story, and that's the whole point of the platforming. You go
Okay.
through puzzles and stuff like that. Like,
Gotcha.
like
I'm just saying
it's closer to a
jumping.
Mario versus Donkey Kong. Like if Nintendo's going to do a cinematic platformer, it's much closer to that
Mm.
franchise. But yeah, it's a genre that has its focus elsewhere. I wouldn't want to take one and do the other, vice
The
versa.
focus is definitely not on controls or jumping.
I mean, the focus is not. I'd say the focus is on puzzles, but platforming is still a focus. But yes, it controls in a very particular way, a cinematic way where animation is the focus over tight controls. It's very. The really funny thing is I would 100% liken cinematic platformer controls to Red Dead Redemption 2 controls. They're both very sluggish, and
Yeah.
animation is first, second to the input. Like they are one and the same in my mind.
I can see that. But Red Dead Redemption's not filled with jumps that you need to make
That
every
is
2
correct.
seconds.
That is correct. Oh, see, like that, yeah, like traditional cinematic platformers have a lot of verticality, so there's a lot of climbing and jumping. Yes, very true. And Red Dead doesn't really have
But
that.
you are right, where it's like the animations are so realistic that it takes a second from the
Yes.
for the input to go through.
Yes. And then there's the shot.
Speaking of that, I don't speaking of Rat Hat Redemption, I mentioned last week that I forget the name of the person who was the voice, Casper. I mentioned that I looked up what character they were and I talked all about that. Turns out that wasn't the character that they were.
They emailed me.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, they said it's funny you brought this up because
I felt really bad about that because
I guess Deux fell victim to Google AI when researching my character. He had the wrong bounty. This is my
That's
character. Found a
exactly.
YouTube video about a dude asking to smash the subscribe button over my guy, but he sent a video here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, send that to me and I'll take a closer look because then I couldn't place what character he actually was, and I really wanted to know.
I am texting you.
So I was bummed out about that, and I didn't want to.
Right now, and I'll drop it into Discord for those who are curious. Look at that Shantae dancing. Since we're in their email, I'll just read the rest of their email. By the way, on the latest pod during the music section, you guessed Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, which is one of my absolute favorite Metroidvanias. Boy, this is perfect time to read this email. You asked MomBrain if it was first party, which is funny because it's probably the most Nintendo vibes I've ever gotten from a non-Nintendo game when I played it. The music is top notch too.
What game?
Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. It came up during the music trivia section last week. He says you also guessed for Game Boy. You also guessed X for Game Boy DMG, and I was absolutely floored about you guessing Argonaut. The way you guess this stuff is incredible. Well, thank you very much. Yes, I am an idiot savant when it comes to that stuff, especially older stuff. Anyway, I have a quick anecdote about that game. Nicky made a joke about Nintendo using suing Musk over the name X, the game name X. Well, back in July 2023, when everybody was making jokes about the name, I tweeted my cart in reply to Dylan Cuthbert, the Argonaut developer, and he used it for a joke on Twitter. So Casper on Twitter took a picture of X, the Game Boy cartridge, because Dylan Cuthbert, the guy who was at Argonaut that made Star Fox and X, says this is the platform the newly branded Twitter will be running on. And he said, here it is right here in the Game Boy cartridge. So it all came full circle. He says, I'm no longer on Twitter, but I kept the screenshot because it was pretty cool. I agree. Never fully played the game. I should fire up my analog pocket because that track you guessed was awesome. Yeah, I've never played it either, and I've always wanted to. Looking forward to hearing my voice through Werner on the pod. Now, that part I forgot again. It will be kind of surreal after being a fan for over a dozen years. Well, I read your email and I forgot to do the damn sound thing, but I will get it done, I promise. Thank you for that email. So yes, way forward, great company, lots of great Metroidvanias and beat 'em ups under their belt. Really love them. Also, back in the day, made a WWE game for like the Game Boy Color or something.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too.
Apology
Do you
accepted.
still have more to say? I don't want to interrupt you.
No, go.
He'll interrupt me.
Virtual game cards.
Yes.
Are those only things that I've purchased on the Switch, or
What
things
else
that
would it be?
the Wii U?
No.
Because I don't remember buying Severed on the Switch, but I did play it on the Wii U.
It definitely, well, Severed is on the Switch. So maybe, not only, you are correct. It's on the Wii U.
I'm pretty sure I played it on the Wii U.
So maybe it's tied to the Switch release somehow. I don't know.
Oh.
I can honestly
Wow.
tell you, I don't know anything about the Wii U versions of game. Them being virtual game cards makes no sense to me at all, especially since they were discs. But it's got to be something related to the Switch one.
Maybe. Okay.
Goodbye,
Goodbye, everybody. Oh, wait, we have some more.
Yeah,
What
so
of,
that was The Mummy Demastered. It was
You
good.
did have more to talk about.
No, he talked about it.
Yeah,
Oh.
and that was it. I was just going to say, even though I wasn't pleased with the ending just because there was a skill issue, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But I did appreciate the ending credits because it was very old school. It was like very much in line with the rest of the art style of the game. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Go play it. You should. And RMC, what have you been playing?
Thanks for asking. By the way, if you want to go really, really, really hardcore, if you play Shantae Risky's Revenge on the platform it originally came out on, the DSi, I'm in the credits of that version. I'm not in the credits of the Switch one because they updated the credits. But if you want to go all the way back there, you could see my name in the credits.
Why is your name in the credits?
Because I was promoting the game at the time, and we were doing interviews and stuff, and they didn't tell me I was going to be in the credits. I played the game like normal,
cool.
and I was reading, and there was like a special thanks section, and I was in there. It's like, oh my god, it's like one of my favorite memories of anything. And then when it came out on Switch or when it was re-released, I'm like, it's going to be different credits, and it was, and it made me sad.
Oh, bummer.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Did you beat the game on the Switch, or did you look it up?
I looked it up. I did not beat it on the Switch. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll borrow it from you.
I'm
just
not.
to see
I'm not being serious, but what did I play? I got things to talk about. So, as you know, I've been playing I played Fortnite. That's been covered. Loving Fortnite as always. Very excited to move over to Switch 2 Fortnite this coming week. Extremely excited. Finally, motion controls, I assume, will be back. Really hopeful that mouse mode controls will be there. Really want to explore that. I tried to get information from Epic because I have a few PR contacts over there who always respond to everything I ask them. They stonewalled me this time. So very clear they're not going to talk about stuff. But excited to try out Fortnite on Switch 2. I was going to say Fortnite 2.
Are
Fortnite
you
2 on
use
Switch 2.
your lap desk for the mouse mode, or is there some other setup
No,
you have?
my chair
envisioned?
downstairs has a table right next to it that I can
table
use.
for mouse control.
I'll see if that works, but if not, I also have my old Mario Paint mouse pad, the plastic mouse pad that I could just put on my lap and use that way too. And who knows, I might not even like playing like that, but I want to
You
try
also
it.
have that whatchamacallit that you guys have.
You also have the
have that thing
whatchamacallit
that you
that you
have.
have.
Y'all bought from Costco the drink thing that goes on the side of the arm of the
MomBrain's
chair, the
favorite thing.
sofa.
Yeah, she loves that. In
Yeah, so-
heavy usage every day. I'm not going to use
So
it.
it's not
Don't
yours.
worry.
No, you can use it.
I thought do you have two?
So I'll be trying that on Switch too. As you know, I've been playing Alan Wake 2. I am about 10 and a half hours in now, so I put in a decent amount of time. Since Deux has the Uber Deluxe version of the game, it comes with all the DLC, and I've been playing the DLC as it pops up because it's interspersed throughout the story. So I did one of the Night Springs episodes that is about one of the waitresses in the town. And you go to play as the waitress, and you serve people coffee in the diner, and then you like wander down the street, and you meet Mr. Scratch, the fake Alan Wake.
Mr. Scratch.
Blah 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 blah. You talk to him, and he asks you a question, and he's like, what are you going to take me down with? What's your special ability to fight me or whatever? He's like, how are you going to stop me? And your two answers are with the power of guns or the power of love. I don't remember, but I was like, I'm doing power of love.
Power of God and anime.
That's
Power
right.
of God and enemy. So I chose power of love, and I don't remember what he saes. And then a fight starts with
You
all
just-
these zombies.
You just play Huey Dewis and the
Huey Lewis and the Lose. Huey, Dewey, and Lewis. So all these zombies are running around, and I don't have a weapon. And I'm like, oh, now I got to solve this puzzle, like, because I chose love. How do I kill these things?
I give you
Yeah, exactly.
love.
And I can't find anything. You're like fenced into this little area.
Boatyard or something.
Boatyard. Perfect word for it. And I can't figure out what to do. And I'm like, these zombies are constantly chasing me. How do I fight them? Like, is there something I can knock over to explode? Am I not supposed to fight them? Am I supposed to run away? What am I supposed to do here? And I did it
Come on, Mr.
forever.
Deltarune.
And then I'm just like trying to look at what I could do. And like one of the zombies got me, and I started again. I put in like 25 minutes, and I'm like, something's not right here. This does not feel right. I can't figure this out, and I'm not an idiot. And I'm like, I think the game screwed up. So I reloaded, went back in. Last time when I was in the diner, I walked towards the front door, and the game faded out and faded back in, and I was outside the diner. That is not supposed to happen.
Oh.
You're supposed to serve everybody coffee and do these all these other things in the beginning. Go in the back room of the restaurant, get a gun off the wall, go back out, walk out the front door. All these people are cheering you on as you go down the street.
Love is a 9mm. Is that-
Yeah, so she says love, and it doesn't matter. You're supposed to shoot the things. So the game screwed up, and I lost like 25 minutes because I didn't know that. I thought it was the perfect glitch to have at the worst time, where I pick love as an answer. I don't have a gun, and I'm like, I have to solve a puzzle. It made perfect sense, and I'm
Right.
like, son of a bitch.
That's so frustrating.
So I don't know what happened that. However, I triggered this glitch that I faded out. All I did was walk to the front of the diner, and it faded out and faded back in, and I'm outside. So I saw something completely weird because nobody's on the street. It's dead silent, and I'm walking down. But you're in like Night Springs, like the weirdo story. So I thought this all makes sense. But that wasn't supposed to happen.
That's such
so
a
that was
bummer.
very frustrating. Then at the end of this DLC portion, you go inside this mansion to work your way up to the top of the mansion. And you're fighting a whole bunch of zombies.
You're still the waitress, right?
Still the waitress. So you just get done fighting Mr. Scratch again and wolves and all this stuff. You go in the house. I close the door behind me, and a zombie lunges at me. Right as it lunges at me, game freezes. Audio's still going. Zombie's not making any noise, but the song's going. And I'm like,
Love.
what am I supposed to do? And I go to look to pause to like reload a quick save. Can't do that. Won't let me do that. And I'm like, I'm going to have to do this all over again. And I just sat there like, what am I going to do? And I was like, well, sometimes there's frame rate issues and things get really hung up. I'm like, let me give it a minute. And I waited like probably about a minute. And then the screen changed and it froze on another screen where the thing's closer to me. And I'm like, okay, something somewhere is causing this game to freak out. I'm like, if I just wait, it's going to click in at some point. So I waited like, I want to say like 3 minutes altogether. And then the zombie like lunged at me again. And then it was like, boom, and then everything came back in. And I was like, okay. And then the rest of it was fine. I was like, son of a, whatever happened in that DLC was, it's not right. And then I looked it up online after, and other people said they had the same thing happen. I'm like, this is
So DLC means
a year plus after. This
Don't
still
load
isn't
content.
patched. So
That
that was
sucks.
very frustrating.
And as I found the DLC to be fun, that one in particular I thought was fun, but it doesn't have any bearing at all on the rest of the game. So it's an extra bummer that you wasted all this
Yeah.
time for like, you know, something that's just like a little arcade.
When it was
splash.
working, it was fun because it is fun to have a surplus of ammo and just blow everybody away.
just go to
Because in
town.
the regular game, you're not doing that. You're
Yeah.
very
Is
conscious
it
of your
almost like
ammo.
Mercenaries?
Similar,
To some
yeah,
degree,
kinda.
yeah. Like there's not an endless stream of enemies, but they come in big waves, and you have ridiculous amounts of ammo. You're never going to run out of ammo, and you have like a rifle and a shotgun, and it's just really fun to blow everybody away. So, but thankfully, after those hiccups, I made my way through the subway, which was very dark, and I enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed the story stuff that went down there, and I absolutely loved the idea of Saga or of Alan finding new story threads and going to his mind place or whatever you want to call it, the dark room, and like swapping in story threads to change things in the environment to move the story forward. I love that idea. It's so fascinating because you could swap in story elements that may block your path forward, but you'll still get new story pieces. Like a walkie-talkie might be somewhere where you hear a little piece of exposition that you wouldn't hear otherwise. I'm like, this is a really cool idea. So I love that. Really like that whole like ending of that area where whatever the dark presence is like chasing you through the thing, and you get to the big room with the naked guy on the platform. Like I loved all that, especially loved the naked guy, but I loved all that stuff. Thought that was very cool. And then after that, it gives you the option. You finally have the option to switch between Saga and Alan, depending on whatever ones you want to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to do, because I'm very regimented, I'm going to do one Saga, one Alan, one Saga, one Alan. So I'm
Okay.
doing the Saga part where I told you go to the theme park coffee, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That the two brothers run, and that has been by far my favorite part of the game so far. I loved walking through the woods to get to the theme park. I love seeing the theme park in the distance. It's a creepy location. Like
Yeah.
I just loved all of it. It was very fun exploring that. The vibe and the mood were great. I love the story pieces that you're getting. Like I said, I love going in Saga's mind place and piecing things together and hearing her like figure things out. It's very, very interested. There's a lot in the story where I don't think you're supposed to know what's going on, but loosely I have an idea of what's going on. Like you're
found
never
it-
so lost where you're like, what the fart's going on
yeah,
here?
it's
But
not, that's one thing that I appreciated, is that it never felt like it was too out of reach story wise.
they're doing a very good job of explaining what I talked about last week, like the idea of basically imagining things into reality, or imagining things to make them real or shape reality. Like they're doing a good idea of laying the breadcrumbs to explain how this is happening and how Alan was trying to make it happen to get out of the dark place and all that stuff. So, yeah, really like it. So I finished the theme park part, and now I guess I'm going to further down the road to some workshop or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But really, I was like really enjoying the story, but not really enjoying the gameplay. And then as it goes on, I've been getting more into it. And this last session, like it just all around minus the glitch with the DLC, like
Yeah.
very much enjoyed it. So before the story was really doing it for me. Now I'm in it. I'm very excited to get back in and play.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I think I played like you did, or like you are, where I went back and forth with, one Alan, one Saga story bit as we went through.
yeah,
And I love how the game, it does a great job of realizing the town and all the environments, including the amusement park, as something that's not inherently scary.
yes,
But then they become very scary.
Yeah.
And like it does a really great job of setting that atmosphere of the whole thing.
hi RLM.
Like when you're on your way to like the when you're on your way to the amusement park, don't you like run into the two brothers and they're like so
Yeah,
goofy,
they're out
and you're
front.
like, these guys are hilarious. I've got nothing to be scared of. And then like 5 minutes later, you're like being accosted in an amusement park.
Yeah, they're standing outside blocking the front, and then they let you in, and you got to go get the key that's in there for your trailer that you don't remember owning in the town. So, yes, all about it. Very
It gets
interested.
It gets so much cooler. I can't wait till you get to. There's a very specific part of Alan's storyline that I thought was pretty mind blowing, and I can't wait till you get there and talk about it.
Well, I will. I'm sure I'll have an update next week on it because I plan on playing more this weekend. So I'm playing that, and then I played 2 new games this week because I would say I'm officially out of my funk. There's 2 games I wanted to play. One I've been meaning to play, and one that just came out this week. Here's the best news for everyone listening. There are demos for both of these games. So if you hear me talk about them and you are curious as to whether you'd like them or not, go get a free demo on the Switch eShop. Number 1, I am playing. Let me make sure I get the name correct.
Number 1.
You mother fudger.
Palestrello.
That's why I want to make sure I got the name right.
Pastrello.
Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. I am playing.
Sinfield has a different name for it in the Discord.
Matty Piss and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. It is made to harken back to the Game Boy Advance era of games, but see, people hear this and
bravo! I love it.
That's
why I'm clapping, because I think it's great. We need more Game Boy Advance style games.
This is what Name of Austin was talking to me about this week. I won't say specifically, but these conversations right here.
I'm not joking.
You are joking.
It's great.
You don't want more of those at all.
I want them for you, for everyone who loves them.
You just played one.
And I enjoyed it. So what's the problem?
The problem is you disingenuously say you love them when you don't. You disingenuously say you want more of them when you don't.
I want more of them for you guys. I just think it's funny that it's like every week it's happening. So I'm not crazy.
It's not every week that it's happening. We're talking about 2 different things here. We're talking about brand new games that are released for the GBA, and this is not that. This is not coming out on the GBA. This is something that's harkening back to the GBA era. It's doing things that the GBA could never do, without a doubt. But it is harkening back to like the graphics are pixel graphics, but they mimic the GBA era. But this is, it's basically a classic Zelda style game, like top-down Zelda style game. That's what this is. You have a yo-yo, and as I've said in the past, there's 2 things in games that I'm a sucker for when it comes to weapons or mechanics: yo-yos and grappling hooks. They're similar in some ways, but I love them. This has a yo-yo, where the yo-yo, I don't know all the things you can do with the yo-yo, but so far I can throw it out and attack people. I can bounce it off of angled walls, and when it hits an angled wall, it bounces depending on the angle. So like you work it through puzzles, or you can, like, if there's an enemy over here that you can't get to, you could bounce it off of this wall and bounce it off of this wall, and it'll swing down and hit that person. But yes, it is a I don't want to say lighthearted, but it's like a cartoony, fun. Basically, it's a Legend of Zelda game. That's what it's like, playing Minish Cap. It's that style game. But you have a yo-yo, and you have different abilities for your yo-yo. You can throw it out and disconnect it. So like you can like shoot it like it's a gun, basically. So it can hit switches, or it can hit enemies, or it could do other things, go collect things for you. And I'm sure I'm going to get other things as well. And there's like 4 main bosses in the game that you have to get to, and they all have dungeons that they're in. But there's, smaller dungeons that you have to work through to get other things to get to the big dungeon. I just got to the first big dungeon last night, but I worked my way through a smaller dungeon, which was a police station, and you need to get a new photo ID, but there's a line because everybody in town has to get one. And you have to work your way through like the police station to find a way to get the photo ID without waiting in line. And it was a really cool dungeon. Had a great song too. It was a really cool song. Where you're like, there's police that are training throughout the dungeon, and if they get alerted to you, they all come in and attack you. It's just cool. It was if you like Minish Cap or any of those top-down Zelda games, or it's basically a top-down Metroidvania. That's what Zelda games are too. You go to locations. There's things you might not be able to do. You get new abilities and access them later. If you like that classic style Zelda, you would really like this game. Again, there's a demo.
So I would love it. I mean, I played Minish Cap on the Game Boy Advance. I love it.
Mechanically speaking, outside of all this GBA talk, if I never mentioned GBA, like this wouldn't be a thing, but it's part of the game's DNA. Yes, mechanically speaking, there is nothing about this game you would not enjoy. It is a very Zelda-esque adventure game.
Perfect.
And like I said, there's a demo, so you can try the demo. But yeah, I'm loving it. I was like, let me try this before tomorrow. I had the intention of playing it because it's been on my radar for a while. Just came out this week, like I said. I think there's a sale on it too. Nicky Hill can attest to that.
10% off, $17.99 currently.
There you go. I like I said, it's been on my radar. I wanted to play it. I wanted to make a point to start it before this podcast aired because I wanted to talk about it on the podcast. And the sign of any good game, I played it way longer than I intended to. I played it till like 6 a.m. Today because I was just really enjoying it. So
you're supposed to be up making breakfast.
If any of that rings true for you, if any of that perks your ears up or piques your interest, then try the demo. Why not? So I will very much be playing that again. Now,
Melissa.
This next game. I'm going to be forceful.
Oh boy.
I want you both to play it. Nicky, I don't know how it's going to feel for you.
Alan Wake 2?
But Alan Wake 2, I'm going to talk about it again.
Phew, I got that off the list.
It is Shotgun Cop Man. It's the game made by the guy who did My Friend Pedro.
Oh, it's a hard game to play.
It is a demo. There is a demo. Full game's out.
Oh, it's the guy that looks like a thumb or something,
Yes.
right? Or like the middle finger.
Yes. Now, as Nicky Hill said a week ago or so, it is Super Meat Boy-esque. Refresh my memory.
Okay.
My Friend Pedro is a dual stick game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is also dual stick. So then you should be okay then.
No. I didn't play a dual stick. I went in guns blazing randomly and
yeah. Okay. Semantics. You played it. Did you play the game?
Yeah.
Did you beat the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you
then
liked
that's it. There you go. And you liked it. I know that. Yeah. That's the one part I'm sure of.
Is there slow motion in this? I mean, look at the game.
There is
you want to talk about graphics?
no
Look
slow
at this
motion.
Stinker.
There is no slow motion.
What's it called? Cowboy Cop Shotgun Man?
Shotgun Cop Man.
Shotgun Cop Man. Okay, so here's the objective. It's like Super Meat Boy in the sense that you just go through a stage. Stages are very quick, and then you go to the next stage. After every however many stages, there's a boss fight. That's so good. There he is. There's Shotgun Cop Man right there. So stages are very short. You just blow through them.
Played by
Vanessa.
Vincent D'Onofrio, yeah.
Vanessa.
So here's how the game works. Shotgun Cop Man cannot jump. You make him jump.
This is like a nursery rhyme, like a children.
Shotgun Cop Man cannot jump. He
Shotgun
gets around. He can walk, but to make him jump, quote unquote, you shoot. You have two guns. You always have
Shotgun Cop Man, shotgun pump.
You always have a shotgun. The shotgun makes a big blast. You point that at the ground and you blow yourself into the air. That's how you do a big leap. You get 3 shots before you have to reload. To reload, you have to touch the ground.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a double jump in the sense that you can only double jump twice and then you got to touch the ground to reset it. This is 3 shots.
A little cave story in there, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. Then your other gun is a little pistol or whatever. Now that's used. It can slightly lift you off the ground, but it can make you hover in the air. So you can shoot down and it'll keep you there in the air until your clip runs out.
You have to change weapons?
No.
Okay.
Left trigger is shotgun always. Right trigger is whatever gun you have.
But you have to press down on one of the direction paths. To shoot down, you have to press down.
There's an aim stick. The right stick is always aim.
Oh.
So you can get different sidearms. You don't collect them. You only ever have one sidearm at a time. You always have the shotgun, but like enemies will drop different kinds of guns. There's a pistol or an Uzi or a sniper rifle or whatever, and they all fire differently, obviously,
They
and
have
make
ammo,
different force.
consumable ammo.
Everything has unlimited ammo, but you have to touch the ground to reload. And your sidearm has a much longer clip, like much longer clip, but you still have to touch the ground to reload. There are enemies along the way. You don't have to kill them. The goal is get to the end of the level. Sometimes there will be levels where you have to kill everything to like trigger the next thing, but you could just go to the end of the level. The goal of the game is to get to the end of the level. That's it. How much you want to challenge yourself within that is up to you, because each level has 4 challenges in it. One is kill every enemy. One is get to the end in a certain amount of time. One is don't get shot at all, like don't get hurt. And the last one is you've done all of those things. So the only one I'm keeping myself to is kill all the enemies. That's one I'm personally deciding to take on. Again,
See, that's what I would. I would
again,
have pegged you for a murderer. But
again,
continue.
you don't have to do any of them. You just can make it to the end and continue on. I want to make it very clear. There's no you failed a level because you didn't kill everybody. It's completely up to you. Hi, Marsboro. That's right. Don't peg me. Nah, you can peg me. That's fine. The game
is fun.
My friend Pedro was so good and so satisfying and had a great soundtrack and was just really good to play. I would say Shotgun Cop Man puts it to shame. It's not as cinematic as my friend Pedro is. Like
that's what I think I liked.
That was like physics based and very cinematic and like that it's got an edge on. This, from a gameplay perspective and a fun perspective, I would put it head and shoulders above it. I cannot stress
it's
enough.
Good that you say head and shoulders, because his Shotgun Cop Man doesn't really have a neck. All he has is the head and shoulders.
There's so many stupid great parts of this game. That same humor that's in my friend Pedro is in this. Shotgun Cop Man is out to kill the devil, basically. And he starts off the level by saying something. He'll talk. And he goes, he doesn't speak. Shotgun Cop Man, you read text to see what he's saying, but all he says is blah, blah, blah. So he goes like blah, 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 blah. And the devil says something back to him, but the devil only has the same response every single time. And you only see him at the beginning of a level. Shotgun Cop Man does his diatribe, and the devil says, F you, Shotgun Cop Man, and gives him the finger. He says it like he actually says the F word, and it gives him the finger and then flies away. Same conversation. I'm at the point in the game where Shotgun Cop Man, it's like, can we stop doing this? Can you talk to me? And he goes, F you, Shotgun Cop Man, and flies away. But anyway, I can't stress this enough. The game is incredible. It's so much fun. It's a blast to play, no pun intended. It's just so good. I have never played a game on the treadmill that made time fly so quickly. My 80 minutes feel like they're 5 minutes. They go by in an instant. It's like I checked yesterday just to see what time it was, to see how much time I had left on my walk. I had 4 minutes left. It goes so quickly when you're playing this game. Here's the best part. The soundtrack makes this so much better. The soundtrack is a pulsing, driving, thumping, like it's like dirty house music the whole time.
Hotline Miami.
The best I can liken it to is the feeling that Hotline Miami's music gives you when you're playing that game. You know that music enhances that experience. Shotgun Cop Man does that. Head and shoulders. I as soon as I finished playing the game for the first, I didn't beat the game, but when I first finished my first session, I went online to go find the soundtrack. It's so good, and it makes, I don't even know how to explain it. You have to buy the soundtrack. It's only available through Steam. You can't listen to it anywhere else, but you can get some of it through the trailers. You have to play this with, you don't have to. I highly recommend you play this with headphones or earbuds or something, just because it gets you into music that much more. It fits the action so good, and it makes it so much more fun to play. It's just like the driving beat is the main part of the music, and there's like other things going on, but there's no like melody to, you just feel like the best kind of insane, like Hotline Miami when you're playing it. But Hotline Miami's soundtrack has songs that have a bit more melody to them. This, I'm making it sound like it's a bad thing, but it's not. It's a better thing. It's just, it's so good. It's so good. it's so good that I walked longer on the treadmill just to play a little bit more. I was like, just one more stage. And then I finished that stage and I was like, just one more stage.
Because you
It's
can't
great.
play off
It's
the
great.
treadmill.
I didn't want to literally stop the flow of my game. Like I was on a roll and things were going really good. And I was like, I just want to keep going. I cannot sing its praises enough. My Friend Pedro was a hit critically and commercially. I don't know if anybody's really paying attention to Shotgun Cop Man, which is a shame because
Well, the problem is when you look at the images and stuff, it looks like shovelware. Like it's unassuming.
in this instance, I don't care about graphics. In this instance, I will say the graphics are probably hurting it because you have the very simplistic visuals of the game. Then you have Shotgun Cop Man and the Devil, who both look like very like low quality CG characters from like 30 years ago. Yes, it's all done on purpose.
Right.
And the developer said, he made it very clear. He's like, I got unbelievably burnt out making My Friend Pedro, like worrying about this, that, and the other thing. He said with Shotgun Cop Man, he wanted to do something that he thought was fun and funny, and he knew he could tackle where like he'd be proud of it, but it wouldn't kill him. Mm-hmm. And I think that him freeing himself in that way has really shined through in Shotgun Cop Man because it's just pure fun. When I play it, I'm like, this is what a video game can be like, because we talk about how great stories in games are, and I love stories in games and everything, but there's also something to be said for games that are just flat out a game and the mechanic is fun and it feels fun and you feel like you're doing something badass while you're playing it. So good. And the game has what I would say is, here's the other thing. Super Meat Boy was very challenging, especially as you got deeper in the game. Shotgun Cop Man has a degree of challenge to it, but it's nowhere near Super Meat Boy. I would say it's very even keeled so far. There's maybe 2 or 3 stages out of 80 I've played where I needed to repeat like maybe 2 or 3 times at most. So if you're worried about difficulty, I really wouldn't worry about it. It's really not bad.
I mean, that's you. You completed Super Meat Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Not Ty.
Yeah,
but you did My Friend Pedro. And if you can beat that, I'd say you have... I'm sure there will be struggles along the way, sure. But I think you're more than fine here.
Kind of seems like it takes a little bit more precision with the double stick action.
I know you want to be worried, and I know you're very worried. I'm telling you, don't worry. You're okay.
I'm just saying.
My Friend Pedro is
the
more difficult
things to
game.
download at this point. You know,
oh yeah, we'll try the demo whenever. But My Friend Pedro is
definitely Burnout. That's the main reason I bought the game, so I can be like, oh.
My Friend Pedro is definitely
the
more difficult game.
Burnout. So it sounds like I'm busy and like really,
You got the rim shot over here. You got to end this, man.
That's all right. don't distract MomBrain.
Thank you.
Nice.
So the other cool thing about...
I also have to talk about something later, but continue.
I didn't know.
I texted you about it last
forever.
Oh, that's right. And I got to write a note and all that stuff. Yeah. Also, the game does a great job of introducing new mechanics. The first few worlds are like you shoot and you learn how you use momentum and aim and all that. And then you get to levels that introduce like like this thing that you throw through the air, and when it hits an enemy, it will hone in on another enemy. And it makes for some interesting puzzles and combat options. There's puzzles where you have to shoot blocks and stuff to get around. There's bombs that you shoot that explode to break open parts of levels. There's like it's more than just like shoot and get to the end of the level. There are puzzles and other things that go on, but not anything that's completely taxing in any way, shape, or form. Shotgun Cop Man. Go try the demo at the very least.
You saying that 3 times fast.
I got nervous on the third one.
That is hard.
It is.
Shotgun.
You don't lose anything for trying the demo other than time, and if you don't like the game, then you didn't spend any money on it. So really, go try the demo. I cannot sing its praises enough. I heavily recommend playing with headphones if you are able to do that. If you have a TV with a great sound setup, that works too. But I think immersing yourself in the audio really heightens the experience to an insanely fun level. It was so good that I contemplated coming upstairs the other night and being like, "MomBrain, you just have to see what this is like while you're like." I wanted to give you the headphones and be like, "You just need to hear and see this." Yeah, wake her up and no, not even wake her up. Just put the earbuds in and crank it up, and hit the shotgun
And
noise.
then while she's playing it, be like, by the way, there's a mouse. There's mouse droppings.
We said hi to Fudge the other day. We don't know if he's still in that garden, but we said hello. So
He got picked up by a hawk like moments after.
that's what I've been playing. There you go. Now let's do
Golly.
questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. GekkouKitsune asks, do you think Nintendo will bring back Labo for Switch 2?
No.
Is there anything else they could get out of Labo? I don't know how popular it really was, but I think a Labo mouse kit would be cool. Will they bring it back? Probably not. I would guess no. Would it be cool? Yeah, I liked all the
I
Labo
wish
stuff.
Jew was here for this question.
A mouse. Why? He doesn't like Labo.
He's always bringing it up.
Because he doesn't like it. It's his favorite thing to talk about things he doesn't like because he
Well,
laughs at
and
us.
So
and thinks
I
we're
wish you
stupid.
were here to talk about things he didn't like.
Do any thoughts? Nope. Nothing to say. Oh,
here it is.
now I got it. It's too close. Now
Did
I
you
gotta
hear?
ask.
Nintendo Labo's coming back?
No, not
Oh
true.
no, wait, that's not.
Look at the smile on his face. It's already happening. GekkouKitsune says, do you think Nintendo will bring back Labo for Switch 2? Is there anything else they could get out of Labo? I don't know how popular it really was, but I think Labo mouse kit would be cool. Nicky Hill said he wanted you to be here for this because he knows you don't like it and probably would have things to say.
And
about
if anything, I think would be.
I don't like everything.
it. Talk to him.
Well, you brought it up, and I
look how
thought you.
cool that like fishing rod Labo
Hear
is.
me
over
out.
there.
Hear me out.
What is?
I
Reach
didn't.
out-
I didn't say anything because I can't. I don't know what you're. I
Reach
don't
out
know.
to your spiders and squirrels or whatever, or flies.
All right, let's not disrespect
Now he's gonna get it real mad.
the rumor mill.
But I think it would be probably in Nintendo's best interest to release some sort of Pokemon Nintendo Labo thing.
I mean, if
I mean,
you want to
think
get
about
it
it.
out to even more people, sure, yeah.
It would make a ton of money.
But
Yeah.
that's not how Nintendo operates.
No.
Yes, I would like to see more Labo. No, I don't think there will be more Labo. How well did it sell? One of the kits sold over 1 million. I don't know what the total sales are for all of it all together. But yeah, it wasn't one of Nintendo's ideas that reached as many people as they wanted.
Why do they do that? We're going to release something and we're just going to use the word that it is, well, Nintendo Lab, and just add O to it, like Labo and Alarmo. Why do they do that?
Amiibo,
Amiibo.
because it's branding.
Nintendo.
Amiibo, Nintendo, yeah.
Amiibo.
They
They just threw an
Juegos.
O on the end of Amiib. You guys getting those new Amiibs?
You gotta pick up that new Amiibo.
You know, they were gonna do a Pokemon Labo game, and they were gonna call it Pokemon Brown because of the cardboard.
Oh,
Yeah, but it wasn't funny enough to be a Deux view, so that's why I said it now.
I was trying to think of another term.
Yeah.
for...
Well, what's the other? They always come out in two. So
yeah,
what
I
would be
was
the
trying to
second
think
one?
Pokemon corrugated and Pokemon. I don't know. There's not another word I could come up with. That's where I was going to go.
Perforated.
Perforated. There you go. So yeah, I did think it was cool. And yes, I like your idea of a mouse kit for Labo, although I don't know that would hold up all that well. Like putting your sweaty mitts on a cardboard mouse kit. Like, I know you held everything with Labo with your hands, but only pieces and parts. If you're like,
What
if you rest your hand on a mouse all the time, it gets sweaty and dirty and gross. So
What
I
if it
imagine
was
the
like
cardboard would
almost like a
disintegrate.
laptop? So like you slide the screen into the top part of the laptop, and then the bottom part is just a platform for two.
I like that.
Also, I think
Lapo.
I think it would be Pokemon FedEx and Pokemon UPS.
There you go.
Okay.
And in Japan, because they had the third one originally, we Pokemon DHL. Thank you for the question, GekkouKitsune. I'm sure we answered it in no way you enjoyed. We also have a Patreon question. MomBrain, did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon
Where?
For $1.
at patreon.com/GoNintendo for $1? Icedilbert did, and they asked this question. If the zombie apocalypse were to happen, and you came across a group of people in a place that is offering protection, but to let you in, you need to be useful to that group, what skill set of yours would you offer the group? Video game music, of course.
Yeah.
You play video game song, I got what? I got nothing.
Healing and
MomBrain to be
mending.
in day 0. You'd be fine.
Healing and mending.
You got so many options. Like you can name so many things, but yeah.
Wow, thank you.
I'm being dead serious.
I know
And
a
if
lot
you
of
find the
herbs.
supplies, killer crispy treats.
Yeah.
My only
Zombie killer
odds would be
crispy
if like computer systems were still working. I could be of some use there. I could do something, but yeah, I'm screwed. I got nothing.
Does self-deprecation have any value in this zombie world?
You could try to eat me, zombies, but you'll probably get sick and die.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think so.
yeah.
I'm not gonna taste very good. I smell off.
I can't.
You smell off.
I can't think of a single thing.
Yeah,
I
I don't
got
know.
nothing.
I mean, maybe for me, a psychiatrist, because I know because of the show The Last of Us, those are very important. So, and I'd probably get like the meanest, coldest man in the village to come to me and use me as a psychiatrist.
Also-
yeah, Icedilbert says I'm a rogue dentist now, so that's an
Hey,
option.
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
You can also in that post-apocalyptic world slip into any vice that you want and then just talk about that to any patient that comes to you.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Can you think of anything I would be able to offer a community of people hiding from zombies? I can't think of one thing.
Singing, man? You could be like you said, video game music, but you could get up there with the
The
apocalypse,
town minstrel.
with the I almost said
the bard.
apocalypse, the
The
acapella,
bird.
the apocalypse acapella group.
Yes.
I'm sure
I bet you could like lead. You could just walk forever.
motivation.
You could be like, look, I'm.
Maybe I could be a scout.
Yeah.
I like sneaking around a lot.
You wouldn't be able to wear your necklace.
Yeah, I would. I'd get rid of it. Desperate times call for desperate
I
measures.
used to be a good shot with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, I feel like that would be my best thing. I could be like, listen,
But you'd be giggling the whole time because you'd be sneaking around. You'd be like,
I would be like, I could do a few different things. Like, I'm willing to be committed to the cause and learn what's going on. Like, I will be dedicated to what you
Yeah.
need me to be dedicated to. I'm not
Just-
proficient in anything off the bat.
just
Like,
don't
I'm
ask him
not
to cook or
a
clean.
marksman. Clean? Why do you say
That's
clean? That's
true.
so
You-
hurtful.
You're absolutely.
That's so hurtful.
You're right. I'm very sorry. I take that back. Don't ask him to
Cooking,
cook.
yes, without a doubt.
I just say two things, one for myself and one for Deux. Don't give me any smoke grenades and do not give Deux any Molotov cocktails.
Yes, I'll agree with
And
both.
we'll all be fine.
Or dairy.
Don't. Yeah, that's true. Do need to stay.
And
away
I
from
would
there.
be, I'd want to be part of the scouting group, but I'd be so bad at it. I'd be like
run up
whispering.
and
that-
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, check out this freak.
I think I see some zombies over there.
Do you think they heard me?
Yeah.
They're coming this way.
It was anybody who farted. It could have been any one of us.
Maybe that's how I'll fool the zombies. They'll be like, ooh, he smells dead enough.
I thought you meant like you could throw your farts or something. What's that over there? Zombie farted over there.
Why would
Farts
that?
is a great
Why would that?
like, band name.
Why would I need to use that? Like, because that would.
Because you're still embarrassed
Others-
that it's you farting and you're trying to pretend
Oh,
like it's
okay.
not.
So it wasn't that I was throwing my
think
farts
that's
to
zombie
attract
farting.
zombies.
Yes.
I'm still trying to
Blame it on someone else. Yeah. I heard that zombie over there. I heard them fart.
Jovial Jeffer says apocapella.
Look at Piper. Look at Piper.
She's lonely.
Oh, Piper, we're almost done. We're almost done. All right. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. Everybody, go to that question. Anything else I want to add?
No,
Okay.
I think we covered it all.
All right, let's get the music. This is so sad, Piper. Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
Put music in the title. Help out your local
Help.
mom brain.
I
Yeah, you
got
better-
music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
You guys better send in music. We're down to 180. I know that sounds like a lot, but 10 a week, that's not a lot. You send in music, send in tons of music. Piper, it's so sad. It's so sad.
She was really excited when I went to the bathroom because I thought she thought it was over. You
Aw.
know, she came and said hello.
Did she get a squeezer?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is from Tentavision.
Persona something? Sonic?
Nope.
No more heroes.
Nope.
It's familiar because of that, but I don't know why. Do you know if this
Splatoon.
is something I played?
Yes, I do.
Switch, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Pipistrella and the yo-yo?
Chuck and Cupman.
No, everyone at this table has played this game.
Oh,
Even me?
Can you turn it up a little bit?
I didn't play Doki Doki Literature Club. Is that what this is?
I
doubt it.
I got no idea at all.
No, if I played it, that limits the pool here.
Does it?
On the Switch. 1,000 times
Times
resist.
No.
Super Mario?
It's clearly going to be something we would have never even considered.
Muscle March?
No.
That wasn't Switch, but
I'm going to say I'm out. I think it's going to be too random.
What the hell have we played?
we all played it. Can I go to my list of games?
Yeah, I'm bowing out. I don't know. Got no idea. Doesn't sound familiar to me.
You're alone, man. No, Nicky Hill hasn't given in yet. Oh, he's out.
Fortnite.
Yeah, we would have never
Lobby
guessed that.
music.
And I got the music turned off.
Seize
for
the
Fortnite,
future
so
lobby music.
music
from
has been
Tendivision.
turned off in my lobby for a
gotta
long
just-
time.
Does that
I gotta
change
just
with
say
seasons?
things without feeling like I sound stupid because I was like, it's probably Fortnite in my head, and I didn't even
Should have
say
said it. You can have a whole bunch of different lobby music, and new music for lobbies comes out with every season. Yeah.
Here's one from Colt.
This has to be a portable.
Yep.
This has.
Is it a pirate?
This is Phantom Hourglass.
No,
It does have a DS feel.
it is.
The Choo Choo Phantom Choo Choo.
It does sound RPG to me,
It is.
but I'm missing hallmarks. Instruments aren't making sense for me.
1 second.
Oh, now instruments are making sense for me. This has to be a Square Enix game.
It is.
All right, so then it's RPG and it's Square Enix. Well, DS is tough. We'll start with the big ones. Final Fantasy.
No.
Dragon Quest.
Yes.
Oh, Dragon Quest. 8, 7, 8, 9. 8, 9? We got there. I never played 9.
You got there.
All right. This one's from Nico Darunia.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that first party feel.
Sure does.
And if it's a first party feel and I don't know it, it's probably Pokemon.
It is.
I got no guess. Is it Switch?
No.
Oh, no.
Crimson.
No.
Platinum.
No.
It sounds high quality. So what is it? Wii?
Nope.
3DS?
Yes.
Okay. What was on that?
X.
Yeah.
Hey! Oh, he's looking right at it.
Pokemon X and Y.
Pokemon X, and I'm looking at Pokemon X.
This one is from Knock on Wood.
This has a Sega feel.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that too. Is it Knights?
That
Klonoa?
is so like 2000s era Sega. It's crazy.
Dude, this should be your TikTok.
Rub-Rabbits?
We'll pick songs,
Feel
we'll
Magic?
play them for you, and it's just you breaking it down and why you know it.
All right,
I think
so
it
it's
would be
either
huge.
GameCube or Wii. I'm gonna go Wii.
No.
GameCube.
Yes.
Okay, well that really narrows it down. Super Monkey Ball. 2.
Yes.
Oh,
Good stuff. I missed that era of Sega music so much. I really like that.
It was Super Monkey Ball 2. This one's from Steve Irwin, R.I.P.
Well, this is also portable.
Yep.
This here is Mona Pizza.
Oh, well, it's WarioWare.
Yeah.
Makers
I
of the
don't know
world's
which
best
one, but it's
pizza.
WarioWare.
Fresh sauce and cheese galore.
Touched.
Brought straight
Okay.
to your front door.
Mona
This here is
Pizza.
Mona Pizza.
what is this on the DS? I guess touch
Yeah.
screen. Touch screen.
Here's one from Jessi.
Oh, you
I
son of
know
a
this.
bitch. This is Sunshine, and it's the goddamn underwater song. It's Noki Bay or whatever. Or it could be
It might be Noki Bay.
it's also, I think, one of those, like,
Oh, like like you're swimming in the bottle, like it's one of those.
Yes. Yeah, where the goddamn book's hidden. Yeah, well, sunshine is.
Sky and sea.
Oh, I think you hear this one when you're on the sandbird too. Remember that
Yeah.
son of a bitch
Yes.
sandbird?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one it is? That bird.
I wouldn't have known
That bird.
That's a great one. I liked the challenges in that game.
The physics were so off on that. I remember I hated trying to get those red coins on that damn sandbird.
And he turns. Oh god, yeah, that's
God,
tough.
that was
Is
frustrating.
that Andy Sandberg?
Andy Sandberg, yeah.
This one is from Mikey 3319.
I was going to say Tetris Effect connected with that first.
Portable?
No.
Just bad quality.
Legend of Zelda.
No.
Prince of Persia.
No.
We?
No.
All over the place. Yeah, okay, so it's got to be Switch?
Odama.
What is this? 3DS?
No.
Tell me.
64.
Wow, very good for 64. Who put this kind of effort into the 64? It's not first party.
No.
It's got some kind of,
Perfect
I want to
Dark?
say, like Egyptian feel to it.
It's not Egyptian.
Arabic.
No.
What's that? Not the Hobbit. What was the other one? That was GameCube.
A
Though.
little bit.
The
Xena, Warrior Princess.
Yes.
You're
I only said it as a joke because of you.
Talisman of Fate.
Wow, that had good quality music.
For N64.
Yeah,
that's what Xena did.
that's what Xena did. Yes, that I'm on board with. That and
Hey,
the
I was
flip.
on board with the Seven Siren as well. I just was
I just
taken
got
off
scared.
guard.
This one's from Wired.
I know this.
Yeah.
Is it a beat 'em up?
I know it. And I want to say it's recent.
I think it is probably recent.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah. I believe at the time of its sending, this game was on the front page of GoNintendo.
When
The
was
time
the time
this was
of
sent in, we featured it
Oh.
on the front page.
when was the time of sending?
I don't.
What? I know this.
You still do banners and stuff?
No, we have a featured page. The front page has all the features that we've written, the reviews and all that. This isn't first party, is it?
I don't think so.
Why do I know this? Man, it's such a short loop, too. Do you know the game? You've heard of it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to piss me off. We've been doing really good, too. All right. I get it. Who does music like that? This is going to make me so mad. I feel like it's a soundtrack I listen to, but it's not. Go ahead. I'm not going to put people through any more.
I don't know.
Hey.
Sorry. I was confused. Euphoria the Saga 2 on the
Son of a
Switch.
bitch. I played it and reviewed it. Yeah, it's a little
Mm.
ditty and that's... God damn it.
Here's one
That hurts.
from
We didn't
Gekkou
get
Kitsune.
Didn't get there.
Didn't get there.
Super Nintendo?
Yes.
Is it a board game?
Super Mario RPG.
No.
I got no
not a
idea.
fan?
I got... it's all right. I just got no idea what's going on. Mario's missing.
No.
It's not first party.
No.
Yeah. I can't even decide. I can't decide anything about it. I can tell you Super Nintendo. That's all I got. Licensed?
Yes.
Looney Tunes?
What kind of music is this? Like this is like a...
Three Musketeers.
No.
Like a fugue or
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, there's something.
Based on the title, do you want me to tell you what kind
No,
of
no,
music
no,
I
no,
think
no,
it
no,
is?
no, no. It's like
Is it an
European.
It is not an RPG.
Is it related to European?
Let me double check on that.
Oh, okay. A possible thread.
more so related to Europe pooping.
Boom.
Just stick to the sirens, all right? will you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say a little bit.
European.
Yeah.
So wait, did I ask if it's licensed? Did I ask that?
Sherlock.
Okay, licensed and European and Super Nintendo.
I mean, you could say
Movies
there's, like,
and TV shows that are related to Europe that had a Super Nintendo
Loosely.
game. We don't. Just go ahead. We're not
Agatha
gonna do this forever.
Christie.
James Bond.
no and no, but you're getting
James Pond.
kind of.
Mission Impossible.
I'm gonna bow out. I got nothing. You guys are the movie
Yeah, I
TV
don't-
show people.
Majesty.
I don't
Queen.
King Ralph.
Is
I'm
it a
out.
movie?
Yes,
Okay, it's a
but
movie.
it isn't just a movie.
European.
Bill and Ted.
Came out on Super Nintendo era, so early to mid 90s,
Man in the Iron Mask.
and it's somehow
National Lampoon's European Vacation.
James Bond, very loosely related in some way.
Mr.
But it
Bean.
was
And it's not just a movie, so that means
Right.
it's something else, a TV show or a book.
Count of Monte Cristo.
A book. Is it a book?
it was a book.
Okay, we're getting
Bram
so
Stoker's
many hits
Dracula.
here.
Treasure Island.
This is a 0.5 if we get it. So it's a book. It's European in some way,
Pride and
Europe's
Prejudice.
involved, so
very loosely related, or not related to, but
Risk.
very loosely.
Uh,
Whatever. We don't know. Whatever. Right.
Gone with the Wind.
We don't know.
I'm bowing out. If you want to keep going, you can.
I'm out.
Jurassic Park. Yeah, but-
it was
Oh wait. Hook.
no.
Okay. Now I
Oh,
bow.
wait,
What
wait,
was
wait,
it?
wait, wait. Is he close with that? The
No,
look on your-
she
oh,
doesn't
okay.
know it. Movies.
It was Hunt for the Red October.
Oh.
Oh.
That didn't sound
Okay,
anything
yeah.
like
So
One never
like
got
James
that.
Bond, I was like, well,
No, you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. It's just we couldn't have gotten it with that song
Yeah.
because why
Send
would
out
that?
the
So I was
missiles.
thinking it was like military fanfare.
Alec Baldwin was never James Bond. I'm kidding.
Go, MomBrain.
Isn't he in that?
All right.
Yes, he plays Jack.
The
Ryan.
last song of the week is from Freddie Fro.
Song was more Periscope down. 1,000 times resist.
Yeah.
I listen to the soundtrack all the time. Just came out on vinyl, people. Get your pre-orders in. Vinyl soundtrack for 1,000 times resist.
I love how we can't get anyone to buy the damn game, and here's the vinyl for the soundtrack.
The game sold over 100,000 copies. They announced that.
We did it.
100,000 copies for a very dense visual novel. That's and brand new
100,000
IP.
times.
That's great. That's great.
That's pretty
1,000
good.
times people couldn't resist. Huh?
I also heard they're porting it to the GBA. I'm just kidding. That wasn't very funny.
Spiders and flies.
Listen, you're allowed to have your GBA hate. It's fine.
I don't want you to think I hate it. I think it's funny.
Yes, I know you think it's funny, and I will never understand why you think it's funny, but it's okay that you think it's
Well,
funny.
you know, when you keep beating a joke, it sometimes gets funnier. That's why. It's not because the original joke was funny.
So that part of it is funny to me. Yes,
Okay, there we
that.
go.
But the original idea of it being funny that happens, I don't understand. But
Funny ha-ha?
the self-referential is funny. Yes, that I'm on board with.
Yeah.
Well,
Now Nicky's got something that he's supposed to tell me that I've been waiting all week to hear because he wouldn't tell me.
Basically, I went home and I went to sleep.
Oh,
you
7
know,
out of 10, by the way, I guess.
And I had a dream and I woke up in a panic because in my dream I posted something on like social media and accidentally like added a link. It was a post about the Switch 2 and I accidentally added a link like I was selling a Switch 2, and when I went back to my phone, like hundreds of people clicked on it to buy a Switch 2 for me, and I panicked because I was like, I don't have a Switch 2 to sell. What am I gonna do? Like, I'm gonna go to jail for this. And so yeah, I kind of woke up feeling that panic and it was just funny.
So sorry.
It's the new wake up in your in your high school naked test or whatever.
Since you talked about dream, I'll say this very quickly. I had a dream today. We went to the movies to see Superman, but we were seeing, I don't know why this happened, but in this universe, the dream universe, there was another brand new Superman movie that wasn't from James Gunn, and it was releasing now, but the James Gunn Superman was still coming like it is in July. But we went to go see it, and like it had no fighting and like nothing of Superman in it. Really, like Superman was in it, but just it was all like Clark Kent Superman. You weren't getting anything. And then like Supergirl showed up at the end of the movie, and she was like, "There's the big bad guy," and she took off, and then the movie ended there. And you were like,
It's a new approach. I like it.
very loudly, you got up out of your seat, and you were like, "What the F was this?" And I was like, "MomBrain, there's kids here," and you were like, "I don't give an F," and you looked right at a kid, and you were like, "He's not gonna fight anybody." And I was like, "You don't even like fighting in movies. What's going on?" And you got up to like
Man, F them
you
kids.
got up like you were gonna try and punch the movie screen somehow. But in the dream, I'm like, she's so far away. Like, what does she think she's gonna
That's
do?
something
And I was like, "MomBrain, stop!" And I got up to get you, and then I woke up. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. That's what I got for you.
Okay.
And that's all we got. That's the end of the show, I believe. So
All right.
we
Well, you
end it
guys
there.
have a safe week and good luck with your Switch 2 if you got a pre-order, and hopefully it goes well. Hopefully your transfer of your Switch 1 goes well and you don't delete everything accidentally. I'm scared. I'm terrified. But have a great week, everybody.
Well, before
Oh,
you have
oh.
a great week, maybe we should do a little something called Deux Views. It's never news. Rumor of the week with Drew Michael.
It's like a rap horn.
Oh my god, if I could get this siren every time Deux Views. So, as you may or may not know, I've got spiders in my flies, and I send them out all over the place, video game related, on the internet wires, and they come back to me with rumors that they've accumulated from various video game sources. And then I tell you what those rumors are, and we all have a great interest in that. But there is something that we're going to do differently this time around. This week, actually, it says here on the note that my spiders and flies have actually delivered me a true news story. This is not a rumor, actually. So,
Wow.
yeah, I know it's very shocking. It's shocking.
So sorry. I thought it was starring, by the way. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I
It's
was
all right.
Answering another thread.
We got a
No
big, we got
problem.
a big news drop in the week of the Switch 2. Let's hear it.
There's so much to talk about. This is really exciting, and this is true what I'm about to tell you. So do not Google it to find out, because you
MomBrain,
just know
beautiful
that it's
picture, by the
true.
way.
Thank you.
So we
Double
spoke
Lennon's did be.
a little bit earlier about the Zelda movie and how Hunter Schafer is allegedly kind of in, they're kind of considering her for the role of Zelda. And all that news kind of got so big and so loud that we didn't hear the other actors that were talked about to star in the movie. So do you guys want to hear that? It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you anyway. So playing, these are just in talks now. This is true, but just in talks. So playing Darunia, the Goron leader, would be, of course, Danny DeVito, ladies and
That makes
gentlemen.
sense. That makes sense.
Perfect. Playing Tingle, it was a close race, but they're considering Richard Kind as Tingle. He'd be
Wow,
perfect.
that's
Excellent.
a great fit.
I
I
thought so,
legitimately
too.
think that's a great fit. He's too big, but that's my only complaint.
That's the only thing.
Hey,
but they can do a lot with
John Reese. What's
need
his
to hear
name?
John Rhys Davies was
a
the
big man, and
He
he was
played-
the tallest one of the fellowship, and he
Yeah,
played a shorty. Speaking of shorties, here is it's just the name you'll hear, but there's one more character, but two actors are being considered for this character. So, as battling for the role of Happy Mask Salesman,
Okay.
we've got Martin Short
That is perfect. End it right there.
or Walton Goggins.
Oh man, that also works.
Both pretty dang good,
I
right?
think short's better, but holy crap, both of those are really
Right?
good.
Right?
Those are really good.
It
The
sounds like they've
spiders and
got their
flies.
Holy
work cut out
crap.
for them with
Holy
picking
crap,
out.
that's amazing.
The spiders and
casting.
flies came to me with Martin Short first, and I was like, "That is perfect."
That's
and then
unbelievable.
I don't know what made them bring
That's
Walton Goggins to me.
unbelievable. Martin Short as the Happy Mask Salesman is
Isn't that
legitimately so
Even
good.
looks like him.
that,
and he'd
yes,
be perfect
that's what I'm
for it.
saying. It's
Like,
perfect.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
Holy crap, is that good?
Which is why we're happy this is a true story.
That's right. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God it's true that they're being considered.
Yeah. So yeah. Thanks from Deux Views.
That's a winner. That's a winner. Martin Short. He's so perfect for that.
I was thinking he doesn't even
Wow.
need makeup. Like
doesn't.
he could just go right into the
He
role,
doesn't.
give
He
him the
could
big
also be
pack with
Tingle,
the.
couldn't he?
Just be normal. Can't you be normal? Man, is that good.
If only
Holy
Charles
crap.
Grodin
He could
was
be
still with
Tingle,
us.
yeah. Listen, Richard Kind and Martin Short as anybody in the Zelda movie, I'll take it. Doesn't matter. Tell me they're
Wow.
Ganon. I don't care. They're great. I'll take it. I will take both of them in any role they would ever be. Anyway.
Richard Kind could be Ganon.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Richard Kind is great. Just saw him in Poker Face. He's great. Love him. Love him. I love that man in everything. There's nothing I'm in where I'm like, no, I don't like him. No, I don't want him. I always am left saying, I want more of him. Just
Every
I mean-
everything that he said in Only Murders in the Building, like every comment that he made about conjunctivitis was like
You can
so
you can
good.
see him.
It's a mild
playing-
case. I can't even get rid of this mild case of conjunctivitis.
You can hear him playing Tingle, like, "Oh, Mr. Fairy, I've got conjunctivitis.
Yep. All right.
Want a map?"
It is the end of the show. Before we go, I will say again, if you don't, happy Switch 2 launch to everybody that's
George
getting one.
as Limebeck says Sinfield.
That's great. That's really great. If you didn't get a Switch 2 pre-order and you want a Switch 2 on launch day, you have options. I will give you your reminders now. This is for the United States.
Good luck to you.
United States. You have Target, who has reaffirmed day one they will have Switch in stock for those who did not pre-order. You will be able to go to Target. They have a whole thing. We posted it. A whole breakdown of how the line's going to work, how you go in. It appears stores are getting roughly 50 units for launch day. So you will have a shot. You also have Costco. Did not take any pre-orders. We don't know how many they're going to have, but we do know launch day will have them. Here is your best bet that not a lot of people know about. Staples will have Switch 2. They have a special website. We have it linked. Search Staples on GoNintendo. It'll be the first story that comes up. They have a link that tells you what stores. It has to be a brick and mortar purchase. You have to go to the store to get it.
And
But
not all Staples have it.
Not all Staples have it. They have a specific website that has a lot of Staples locations that are stocking them. It is one per customer, but that is an option. You will be able to get them there. So
Staples. What next? Circuit City? Am I right?
you have that option. Really, I would imagine Staples will get the least amount of units, but I imagine the least amount of people will consider going to Staples to get a Switch 2. So check those out beforehand. Remember, you also have GameStop
And remember,
on June 4th at 3 p.m. You can go to your local GameStop and try to get you can purchase a unit that day that you can pick up at that night. So you can go at 3
pre-order.
It's basically a pre-order that day, yes, of additional stock. So you can go there at 3 p.m. If you get one, that means you can return at midnight and get your system that same day. But GameStop will also the next day be selling a whole new round of Switch 2s online.
Such a strange.
So you have options.
Tony
people.
De La Mancha, and I can't verify this, but Tony De La Mancha says Fred Meyer for the Pacific Northwest locals.
Yeah, I'm not as up to date on that. So there you go. I would trust that. So you have chances. You really do have multiple chances. You should be able to snag one if you don't have a pre-order. They will go very quickly, but you've got a shot. So do not give up. Best of luck if you're in that situation. Happy Switch 2 launch day. Like I said, as I've said in the past couple of weeks, next week's podcast will be a disaster, I'm sure, at a time I do not know when it will happen, because no joke, between now and next, not the coming Monday, but the Monday after, there will be like no less than 15 press conferences that I will have covered. So it's going to be an absolute nightmare. Friday is the kickoff of, no, that's a lie. There's conferences on the 3rd that are important. I don't remember what ones, but Friday is Summer Game Fest. Nintendo is a sponsor of this event this time for Switch 2. So who knows what's going to happen if they'll have games to announce. I am sure third parties will announce Switch 2 stuff at Summer Game Fest. There's going to be
30.
They're not.
50?
No, Summer Game Fest is way too
Like
expensive for that.
Nintendo, they know that this is like the E3 replacement, right? Like this week and everything.
Yeah.
And they're just going for it and like releasing their system. It's basically like,
well
they
don't
got a
pay
new
attention to
system
anything
coming
else
out.
that's going to be coming out on any other system. Like, just
it's
come play
great
our-
timing. Yeah, it's great timing for them. Get the system out. Everybody's already talking about games. More attention is going to be on games than usual. You're going to have a whole bunch of games that are announced. Like, it's perfect
I
timing.
guess,
Yeah.
No,
Games.
not everybody's covering it
Think-
like you are. I guess.
Yes, but also think about it this way. What weirdo out there is like, I sure love my game news coverage. I also don't want to play video games on a new system. Like, you're not going to be like, I'll stay at home and watch and get that system later. So, but yes, Summer Game Fest, I'm sure will have some third-party reveals for Switch 2. If they don't, I'll be absolutely shocked. But again, Switch 2 is a sponsor. Nintendo is a partner, or whatever you want to call it. So who knows what'll be shown? But
And
It's also
big
interesting
things
that they're
happening.
sponsoring
lest
it.
we forget that tomorrow is the start of Pride Month. So happy Pride, everyone.
Go to your
Happy
local Target and get your Pride stuff. They got it. They got it. They're good now, people. All right, everybody. Yes, you got it. Icedilbert says it best. Only 5 more sleeps till the big day. Sleep well.
After all,
the
there's
days will
only
go
5 more sleeps till Switch.
The days will go
2.
slower and slower, but we're almost there. We almost made it, guys. We almost made it.
No switches
Muppet
for us,
Christmas.
nieces.
And if you didn't read my story about Staples on the site, stay tuned for the after show. I'll give you a funny, quick story about Staples. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Enjoy your Switch 2. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Good luck.
Didn't get that Staples story, which I wrote on the site, but if you didn't read it, I'll tell you. It's very quick, and I think it's very funny because I posted a story about get your Switch 2 at Staples. And people, social media is very predictable for the most part. They're like, Staples is still around. Staples has stores. Ha 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 he. I thought it was funny because I wouldn't have expect them to have Switch 2 launch units, but they stocked Switch stuff. So, but I told a story about how Staples has things you might not expect. Bobo's, the company that makes bars and muffins and whatever. They had a limited edition flavor. I don't remember what it was. Doesn't matter. Let's say lemonade. I think it was lemonade.
Lemonade.
I wanted it. Could not find it anywhere. Searched online all over the place. MomBrain found that Staples had it. And I was like, Staples, like the office place, has Bobo's and they have the flavor I want. She was like, yeah. And she was like, should we order it? I was like, I guess. I don't know what's going to happen. They showed up the next day with the delivery. And I shit you not, they showed up on a tractor trailer, like full 18-wheeler parked outside the house across the street for a guy to drop off a Bobo's box. How weird is that?
Wow.
How weird is that? I was like, MomBrain Staples is here. And I was like, it's like the actual Staples truck you see in the highway.
Wow.
Got a
So
shipment.
strange. So strange. Yeah, it's the guy delivering like office equipment all up and down the highway and making one Bobo's delivery at some of these random houses.
And I bet you they don't have it at the Staples Center. Like
Right, you only can
it's
get it
he like stopped at like a gas station to get the Bobos.
Here's
and
the thing.
like brings them
because I
over.
was so curious, I
He's
looked.
hustling as a Grubhub delivery.
Because I was so curious, I looked the next time we
DoorDash.
went to Staples because MomBrain had to print something out. They had literally 2 shelves stocked with Bobo's. Nothing but Bobo's.
Is that the only food they sell there?
No,
know
they
why?
had like other like protein bars and like
because those things taste like paper and cardboard.
they have candies and cookies.
And they have Staples
Oh
in
my
them.
god, it makes sense. It makes sense. That's great.
I just also want to say real fast for anybody who cares, I think this is the last week. Not that we're like you can plan a trip or anything, but like have a little moment of silence for the Muppets at Hollywood Studios and Disney.
Get them out of there.
Because it's
So
closing.
they got something new. They're going to Rock and Roller Coaster. Come on.
they're gonna move, but like the
Recommend.
whole area, the 3D thing is
3D,
gone
2D, 3D.
unless they move it and like repurpose another space somewhere to have the Muppets 3D. But yeah, so just I don't know. I'm not a huge Muppets fan, but I really like that involvement, and
Well,
it's
you
been
didn't
there
like it
for
enough.
been there for such a long time. So
Sinfield, as Radical Defect says, it seems like no outlets are getting the Switch too early. The way Nintendo worded it leaves a little wiggle room. I'd imagine like they're going to get GameSpot and IGN a unit like maybe a day or two before. But yes, they did say they're not doing it because of the day one update. So it does seem like that's the case. Pretty much everybody's in the same boat this time. So it is what it is.
Wait, so then it wouldn't make sense to give IGN one early because they wouldn't be able to play it, right? Until the day.
Nintendo would probably be like, here is one we have updated in our headquarters and you can have it.
So
That would be
that's
my
how
guess.
they
This
do
one
it.
has access and you can play, and then they'll get that back from IGN when the system launches. That would, they're definitely not going to do that for everybody. Like, I would think at most IGN and GameSpot, and I seriously doubt GameSpot on that because GameSpot is big, but they don't get the Nintendo love like IGN does. So.
Gabby Hayes big.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. And on June 5th, play some games on your Switch 2. That's it. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. And that is it.